The Wranglers' quest for the playoffs takes them to Greeley, Colorado at the foothills of the Rockies. It's a must-win game for the Wranglers. With 8 games to go, they are 8 points out of a playoff spot. And who are they chasing? The Colorado Grit, who they take on here tonight in the first game of a 2-game set. Hi everybody, Guy Chiarenza with you here this evening, and this game is a big one for the Wranglers. They have got to have it, and they got to do it in enemy territory, as Amarillo has to get it done. Now, here's the lowdown entering the weekend. Amarillo 8 points out of the playoff picture. Their record is 19, 28, 1-3, 42 points on the season. They currently sit in 8th place in the South Division with 8 games to go. They are starting a 5-game road trip here tonight that begins in Greeley, Colorado, and it'll take them to Odessa for 3 next weekend. All of these games for the Wranglers are must-win games, and they have to do it preferably in regulation, as Amarillo has really no room for error here down the stretch. Now, for the good news for the Wranglers is they are winners in their last game, 2-1 in overtime at home against the Lone Star Brahmas. That's what gives them a hope here this weekend at a chance for a playoff spot. Colorado currently occupies that final spot in the South Division with a record of 20, 21, 6-4. 50 points on the season. Colorado currently holds that final spot. Odessa is 2 points back of Colorado. They are taking on Corpus Christi tonight at home, and they are currently beating the Ice Rays. Last time I checked, 1-0 is the score there at Ector County Coliseum. For Colorado, this weekend is their final home weekend of the season. They will then go on the road to finish out the campaign, and it will end at the Budweiser bullpen on April 6th. Again, for the Wranglers, they start that 5-game road trip. These 2 games must-win games for the Wranglers, and they got to do it in regulation to give themselves a chance, because if they do, they win that tiebreaker against Colorado, and things get a little bit more hairier from there. But for the Wranglers, the key tonight is they have to find a way to win here at Greeley Ice House. Amarillo's record against Colorado this season, it's their best against any opponent so far this year outside of Oklahoma, as Amarillo is 6-2, 0-1 against the Grit on the campaign. But these 2 teams have not met since late December at the Budweiser bullpen on December 21st. The Wranglers won that game 6-3. In fact, Amarillo has won the last 3 meetings, and that gives the Wranglers a lot of hope coming into this matchup here in Greeley. For the Wranglers in their last game, it was a thrilling overtime victory. 2-1 the final score at home against the defending champion Lone Star Brahmas. And the Wranglers really had to work and earn that win, as it was a low-scoring weekend all around for the Wranglers and the Brahmas. Wranglers got stellar goaltending from Gerard and Shephoister in the 3-game set. Wranglers finally found a way to get it done, 2-1 in overtime on Sunday afternoon. And Noah Wood got the lone goal in regulation for the Wranglers, as Wood now has 3 goals and 2 assists in his last 9. He has really elevated his play as of late, and has really become a voice in the locker room for the Wranglers to say, why not us? Why not us to make the playoffs? And so Noah Wood will look to lead the way, as he's one of these veteran players on this Wrangler roster. One of the younger guys got the overtime winner for Amarillo, Cole Satterdahlin. He got the game-winning goal for the Wranglers. In fact, watch out for number 3 when it comes to crunch time, as he leads the team with 3 game-winning goals this season. And Satterdahlin has been phenomenal since coming over in a trade with the Aberdeen Wings at the trade deadline. 5 goals and 5 assists in 13 games with Amarillo for Satterdahlin. He has been money on that line with Morley Phillips and Kirill Ezhnev. We'll see them back in action here tonight, although the Wranglers have made some shuffling to their lines here in this must-win game in Greeley. William Larson had an assist on the game-winning goal. Larson now has 1 goal and 1 assist in his last 2, and he has really started to click and find his groove here in the North American Hockey League since coming over from Sweden. And, of course, the aforementioned Kirill Ezhnev had the secondary assist on that game-winning goal. He has 6 goals and 3 assists in 11 games with Amarillo. Matt Shephoister got the win for the Wranglers on Sunday. He was stellar, as he finished stopping 30 of 31 in the win. And Shephoister has really been one of the catalysts for the Wranglers' resurgence, giving them a chance to make the playoffs. But in tandem, Charles-Antoine Girard, the Wranglers' other goaltender, has really himself started to play his best hockey of the season. We will see Girard between the pipes for the Wranglers here in Greeley tonight, as the Wranglers fared well in special teams on Sunday as they won that special teams battle against the Brahmas, going 1 for 3 on the power play. Of course, the overtime winner came on the power play, 4 on 3 in OT, and Amarillo's penalty kill shut down the Brahma power play, going 3 for 3 on Sunday afternoon to stay perfect. Amarillo's penalty kill has gone perfect in its last 2 games. And we'll look to see more of the same here for Amarillo here at the foothills of the Rockies. We haven't seen Colorado in a long time. They've been up to a lot of stuff since then and has found themselves in the final playoff spot in the South. We'll talk about how Colorado got there. We'll also talk about some Wranglers making their North American Hockey League debut here tonight in Greeley. All that coming up next when we return on the Austin Hose pregame show here from Greeley, Colorado. As we're getting set for a must-win battle between the Wranglers and the Grit. It's a new rivalry in the North American Hockey League, but it's one that never disappoints. Wranglers and the Grit is coming up in just a moment as puck drop here has been delayed due to being Parents' Weekend here in Greeley. We are now trending towards an 8:15 Central p.m. start time here in Greeley. We'll take a moment to step aside here on the Austin Hose pregame show. When we come back, we've got a lot to talk about here on a must-win night in Greeley, Colorado. But first, before we do, let's take a moment to hear a word from the Amarillo Ice Ranch, the coolest place in town.
Hit the ice at Amarillo Ice Ranch, the only year-round facility in Amarillo. First-time skaters, novice hockey players, kids, and adults are welcome. A great place to celebrate a birthday. Have a blast at one of our various programs, special events, and camps. The Ice Ranch is a state-of-the-art facility. Professional coaches and trainers who are passionate about growing ice sports in Amarillo. Lace up your skates today at the Amarillo Ice Ranch.
For more on the Amarillo Ice Ranch, you can go to AmarilloIceRanch.com, and they will get you hooked up from there. We got a big game on tap here in Greeley, Colorado, as it is the 10th meeting of the season between the Wranglers and the Grit, the 22nd all-time meeting between these two clubs. And you think Colorado came into the league last season, and now we're already up to meeting 22. Unbelievable stuff. These two teams play each other 12 times a year. And over the games, over the years, things have gotten more and more exciting in this rivalry, and now there's a lot at stake. In fact, for the first time in this rivalry, everything is on the line between these two clubs. Colorado had just 12 wins last season. Now they find themselves in the final spot in the South. Amarillo trying to make their 3rd consecutive Robertson Cup playoff berth, and they have to have this win here tonight in Greeley if they want a chance to do it. So, Wranglers, in the past, have had the Grit's number, 16-3-0-2 against Colorado all time. Went 10-1-0-1 against Colorado last season. And for the Wranglers, again, so far, so good this year. 6-2-0-1 is their head-to-head record between the Wranglers and the Grit. And that does play a pivotal factor in the playoff race because that is one of the tiebreakers. If they're tied in points, head-to-head record will be the first tiebreaker. And with the Wranglers winning here tonight, they could automatically own that tiebreaker. So that would be in the Wranglers' favor. Again, a lot on the line here in Greeley, Colorado. And it's been a while since we've seen the Colorado Grit. Again, December 21st was the last time these two teams saw each other. It's at the Budweiser bullpen. The Wranglers won that game 6-3. And since then, we know how much the Wranglers have changed. Colorado, still pretty much the same, although they've gotten a lot of juice here and there from new guys entering the lineup. Noah Grolnick back with the Colorado Grit. You may remember him from last season. He comes back in his 20-year-old year, spent some time in the PCHL earlier this season. Grolnick comes back to Colorado, has 7 assists on the campaign with the Grit in 11 games since his return. Still looking for his first goal in his return. Wranglers are hoping that that doesn't happen here this weekend. Landon West also re-enters the lineup for the Grit. Last time the Wranglers played Colorado, Landon West was out due to injury. The number 25 for Colorado has done some damage against the Wranglers in the past, as West, in his career against Amarillo, has 9 goals and 13 assists. Or excuse me, no, he doesn't have those numbers. 5 goals and 6 assists in 16 games with the against the Wranglers in his career. Again, another guy that's done some damage against Amarillo in the past. And we'll also see former Wranglers defenseman number 5, Will Sinclair, for the Grit here this evening, as Colorado has points in 7 of its last 11 games, and that's one of the reasons why Colorado is in the playoff picture and why they have that final spot in the South. Colorado defeated New Mexico 2-1 in overtime on Saturday. And Braden Junker got the lone goal in regulation for the Grit. He has 1 goal and 2 assists in his last 3 games. Don't really expect that from a guy playing on the back end, but Braden Junker wearing number 26 for Colorado. He's applying from scoring on the back end for the Grit. Wranglers would get some of that themselves here this evening, as last weekend in the Wranglers 2-1 overtime win, it was Hayden Hedquist that supplied some of that juice from the blue line for Amarillo, as he took the initial shot on the Noah Wood deflection goal that came in regulation. George Poirier scored the game-winning goal in overtime for Colorado. It's the 20th of the season, and he's on a hot streak entering tonight, as George Poirier, wearing number 19 for Colorado, has 20 goals, 19 assists, and 39 points on the season. He's on a 3-game point streak, 2 goals and 1 assist in his last 3. A lot of Wrangler fans are familiar with the name Jack Erickson. He has now gone to Bentley, and so Colorado has a trio of goaltenders now that they've been rolling with. You got Pete Sterling, Nolan Francis, and Richard Rafai. Now tonight, we'll see Pete Sterling between the pipes for Colorado, as he has seemed to become the 1A option for Colorado. The 1B is Francis, and Rafai comes over from the Minnesota Mallards. He will not dress this evening, as Francis is listed as the backup, but it was Peter Sterling that won the game for Colorado on Saturday against New Mexico in this building, as Sterling had a lot of work to do, and he stopped 38 of 39 to do it in the victory for Colorado, as the Grit went 0 for 4 on the power play, but they did go 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. As the night goes on, we'll talk about how the Wranglers and the Grit have both been trending upwards in terms of special teams, and that will become a question of the evening as to who will gain the upper hand when it comes to the special teams battle. Now, when you look at it, at first glance, it's like, yeah, so what? Grit power play, 16.9%. That's 23rd best in the league. Grit penalty killed, 82.6%. That's 19th best in the league. Wrangler power play, right at the same with Colorado, tied for the 23rd spot with 16.9 on the season. Wrangler penalty kill, 77.1%. And that is one of the lower figures in the league. But the Wranglers' penalty kill was what got them the win on Sunday against Lone Star. One of the few strong points for the Wranglers in that game was the penalty kill. Again, Amarillo going for 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. And you think about this Wranglers penalty kill trending upward. They've been perfect in 3 of their last 4, going for 14 out of 15 in that span. That's that operating at 93%. So a little bit of a small sample size, but it just goes to show that the Wranglers penalty kill is trending in the right direction as the Wranglers enter this critical matchup here at Greeley Ice House. Colorado has found a way to hang around in tight games so far this season, something that they did not do last year. That's one of the reasons why Colorado has been able to pick up points here and there. Colorado has the gap on Amarillo in terms of points coming into tonight's game at an 8-point margin. But you think about Colorado's 10 points that they've collected using in overtime 6 times and in the shootout 4 times. We'll see if the Wranglers can find a way to win this game in regulation. Again, something that they need to do, as Amarillo can't afford to cough up points to Colorado here this weekend, as they're currently chasing the Grit entering tonight. And that's really the big storyline here, is the Wranglers' quest for the playoffs. As for Colorado, they're 8 points ahead. But for the Wranglers, look at the next 5 games here on this road trip. 2 here in Greeley. Wranglers win those games. Well, then that margin becomes a whole lot slimmer, and then that puts that game at the Budweiser bullpen on the final day of the regular season into a very big picture. Wranglers in that game, if they play their cards right, they win here down the stretch. That could be a win and in situation, because the Wranglers then go to Odessa for 3 next weekend. If the Wranglers continue to win after hopefully 2 big wins here in Greeley this weekend, well, then the Wranglers would then be in play for that final spot in the South Division. So there's a lot on the line here in Greeley, Colorado. And with that, let's get to tonight's starting lineups between the Wranglers and the Grit. We'll start with Colorado. We'll start with number 20, Ben Rakowski, starting at left wing for the Grit, standing at 6'1", 185 pounds. The native of Greenwood Village, Colorado, gets to start here in his home state, as Rakowski has 7 goals and 11 assists for 18 points in 47 games with the Grit this season. His starting center is number 8, William Johnson, standing at 5'10", 175 pounds. The 20-year-old for Colorado has given them that scoring jump that they needed from last year to this, as Johnson has 12 goals and 20 assists for 32 points in 50 games. And Johnson has lit the lamp quite a few times against the Wranglers in his career, as coming into the 10th matchup of the season, Johnson in the prior 9 has 4 goals and 4 assists. against the Wranglers. Although he does have 1 goal in his last 4 in a bit of a scoring drought for number 8. His starting right wing here tonight is number 15, Luca Ori, standing at 5'8", 180 pounds, a native of Gurnee, Illinois. Rounds out the starting forward line for the Grit, as Ori on the season has 13 goals and 18 assists for 31 points in 49 games. He has 3 goals and 4 assists for 7 points in 9 prior games against Amarillo. Starting on the blue line for Colorado at left D, it's number 9, Alex Gurman, standing at 6'1", 195 pounds. Another native of Colorado, him coming from Colorado Springs. Gurman, the Grit's captain this season, has 10 goals and 11 assists for 21 points in 50 games. His starting D partner is the Air Force commit, number 7, Carson Pavlovich, standing at 6'3", 187 pounds. The native of Proctor, Minnesota, will round out the starting 5 skaters for Colorado, as Pavlovich this season has 1 goal and 6 assists for 7 points in 40 games. In fact, his only goal of the season came against the Wranglers on October 27th at the Budweiser bullpen. Getting the start between the pipes for Colorado, it's number 33, Pete Sterling, standing at 6'5", 170 pounds, native of Woodbridge, Virginia. He's playing on his 3rd North American Hockey League team, and this one seems to be his home, as he's been a staple for Colorado ever since Jack Erickson left a Bentley. As Sterling in his last outing got the win for Colorado, stopping 30 of 39 on Saturday in a 2-1 victory against the New Mexico Ice Wolves. Sterling this season has a record of 4-3-1, a 2.71 goals against average, and a .918 save percentage. As that'll round out the starting lineup for Kevin Holmstrom's Colorado Grit. And now with that, let's get to the starting lineup for your Amarillo Wranglers. Getting the start at left wing, it's number 74, Alexander Olislov, standing at 5'10", 183 pounds. The native of Sweden will get the start at left wing for the Wranglers, as he has been heating up as of late. 4 assists in his last 7, 20 points in 49 games this season for Olislov. His starting center here tonight is his fellow countryman, number 9, William Larson, standing at 5'10", 185 pounds. Larson has 1 goal and 1 assist in his last 2. His first 2 points in the North American Hockey League have put him on a 2-game heater. Wranglers are hoping that he continues to surge heading into a big weekend here in Greeley. Starting at right wing, it's number 27, Mark LaFrance, standing at 5'10", 175 pounds, native of Arlington Heights, Illinois. Came over from the Chippewa Steel in January, and LaFrance, just like many others in this Wranglers lineup, is heating up at just the right time. He's playing some of his best hockey here over the last couple of weeks, as LaFrance has 2 goals and 3 assists in his last 7. Getting the start at left defense with an assist on Noah Wood's regulation goal on Sunday, it's number 14, Hayden Hedquist, standing at 6'4", 200 pounds. The native of Heron Lake, Minnesota, is one of the youngsters in the Wranglers lineup, but he's seen a lot of ice time, and he's been trusted in big moments, and he has risen to the occasion. Hedquist is a +5 over his last 10 games. His starting D partner here tonight, wearing number 2, is Will Welburn, the Wranglers' alternate captain, standing at 6'9", 240 pounds. The native of Rye, New York, will round out the starting 5 skaters for Amarillo. Welburn has 12 points in 43 games for the Wranglers this season. 6 of those have come in his last 10. Look for Welburn and Hedquist to supply some shots from the back end for the Wranglers. As really over the last couple of weeks, the theme for Amarillo was getting men out in front, trying to tip and deflect pucks in front of very sturdy goaltenders in Jackson Fuller, Ryan Cameron, and Nicholas Rempel. Speaking of really sturdy goaltenders, getting the start between the pipes for the Wranglers tonight, it's number 1, Charles Antoine Girard, standing at 6'3", 185 pounds. The Quebec native goaltender has been superb for the Wranglers over his last couple of starts, as Girard was magnificent in the Saturday loss to Lone Star. Amarillo fell in that game 3-1, but Girard did everything he could, stopped 29 of 31, and really added some impressive tape to his highlight reel. Girard and his vibes are riding off the charts here into this game in Greeley. I'm excited what he can do between the pipes for the Wranglers here tonight, as the Wranglers are led by head coach Corey Woktek and assistant coach Ryan Seavey. The president of hockey operations and general manager is Harry Mahood. And before warm-ups, we had 2 Wranglers getting in their rookie lap, and those 2 Wranglers are making their North American Hockey League debuts here tonight. Number 15, Trevor O'Donohue was with the Wranglers during training camp, ended up playing with Big B Coffee throughout most of the season this year. Signed a tender with the Wranglers. He is back, and he is back in blue. He makes his first North American Hockey League debut here tonight as O'Donohue stands at 6 foot even, 170 pounds, as a native of Pinckney, Michigan. I'm excited to see what O'Donohue can do for the Wranglers here tonight, as he had 69 points in 50 games with Big B Coffee this season. I think O'Donohue is going to provide a lot of jump and a lot of energy to this Wranglers lineup, as also making his North American Hockey League debut here tonight, number 89, right defenseman Carson Wendorf, standing at 5'10", 170 pounds. The native of Litchfield, Minnesota, is making his first appearance as a Wrangler. Wendorf was with the Wilmar Warhawks of the NA3HL earlier in the campaign. 8 goals and 16 assists for 24 points and a +3 rating in 46 games for Wendorf with the Warhawks. He'll be wearing number 89 for the Wranglers here tonight, and he'll be paired up with number 6, Heikki Paipanen. Interesting development for the Wranglers here entering this game. Patrick Whited is out, and so is Anthony White. Those two, normally on a D pairing on the Wranglers' bottom pairing, are out this evening. We'll see 2 forwards taking their place here in this critical matchup here in Greeley, as number 7, Mason Lupo, will be playing at left defense with number 10, Jake Boulanger, to round out the Wranglers' D-core, which is currently, as listed on the depth chart, has 4 natural defensemen coming into tonight's game, that being Paipanen with Wendorf and Hedquist with Welburn, those two getting the start. And you've got Lupo and Boulanger as the Wranglers are dressing an extra forward here this evening. That'll be number 39, Jake Thornton, who made his North American Hockey League debut last weekend at the Budweiser bullpen. And I thought Thornton looked very well. I thought he looked very good for the Wranglers in that weekend in his debut. We'll see if he can continue that strong play into this matchup here in Greeley, Colorado. And at the top of the show, mentioned that there was some shuffling around for the Wranglers in terms of lines. In the past, we've seen Kirill Ezhunev with Morley Phillips and Cole Satterdahlin. Tonight, we'll see Jacob Miller getting the nod at left wing with Satterdahlin and Phillips on that line for the Wranglers. The line of Rasega, Wood, and Azadi remains the same. And Noah Ribeiro, wearing number 16, will be with number 19, Kirill Ezhunev down the middle. And of course, Trevor O'Donohue making his first appearance with the Wranglers here tonight. We'll finish out that line wearing number 15 at right wing. So for the Wranglers, a lot of new guys in the lineup, a lot of moving parts, and the Wranglers are trying to do everything they can to come out of Greeley Ice House here tonight with 2 points in their back pocket, critical ones in the playoff picture. When we come back here to Greeley Ice House, we will get to pregame festivities, preview this matchup a little bit more as the Wranglers and the Grit meet in a South Division tilt. This is Wranglers Hockey on NATV and YouTube.
Your ordinary jobs deserve extraordinary quality. Skip the big box and save with FlexTech and Austin Hose. With crush-resistant fittings and superior resistance to abrasion, weather, ozone, and oil, FlexTech water hoses provide outstanding strength at a value that washes the competition away. And be sure to make those ordinary jobs that much easier with our vast selection of Quick Connect fittings. And now, take simplicity one step further with the Dixon Constant Flow Nozzle. Simply twist the nozzle head to adjust from a wide to long spray pattern to tackle any job. And it's internally sealed for easy installation, leak-free handling, and true water shutoff. Rated up to 300 PSI, FlexTech air hoses provide the durability and cost efficiency of PVC with a look and feel that simulates the flexibility of a traditional rubber hose. Pair your FlexTech air hose with the Milton blowgun, and even your toughest jobs are an absolute breeze. So when you're tired of the ordinary, put FlexTech to the test. Call Austin Hose today.
Big game on tap here in Greeley, Colorado, as Amarillo takes the ice here in the foothills of the Rockies. They gotta have it here tonight, and they are fired up. Amarillo trying to punch their way to the final spot in the South, and they'll do it wearing white jerseys with blue numbers and professional red trim. Amarillo will escape from right to left to begin play here tonight, as now it looks like we are trending towards a 8:20 Central Time start time here in Greeley, as Colorado has taken the ice. The Grit will skate from left to right to begin play here this evening, and they will wear a black jersey with some beige, red, and white accents. Beige numbers, just regular red trim there for the Grit. As we've got a good one here on tap between these two South Division foes. They meet very often. This is the 22nd all-time meeting, the first meeting in the 2025 calendar year. In fact, it is the first meeting between these two clubs that was not played in the 2024 calendar year. So you think about 21 prior meetings coming between January 1st of 2024 to December 31st of 2024. This is the first time these two squads will meet in a year that is not 2024. Amarillo has had Colorado's number in the past. In fact, the Wranglers have been outstanding in this building in their history. Amarillo is 8-1, 0-1 all time here in Greeley Ice House. They're going to need to bring that mojo here tonight with a lot on the line as the Wranglers and the Grit meet here with 8 games to go down the stretch. Also keep an eye on what the Odessa Jackalopes are doing here tonight as the Wranglers and Grit are both hoping that Odessa loses here tonight at home against Corpus Christi. Amarillo will be at Ector County Coliseum next weekend for a 3-game set, and hopefully for Amarillo, they come there as winners of their last 3, 2 here in Colorado. Currently an update on that Odessa Corpus Christi game. Jackalopes now have a 2-1 lead here at the start of the second period. Corpus Christi getting goals from Jack Lesperance, 2 of them, in fact. And Corpus Christi getting a goal from Stepan Kuznetsov, as that game is also available on NATV. But we encourage you to stick with us here in Greeley, Colorado, as we have a high-stakes matchup here between the Wranglers and the Grit. Never really disappoints, these two squads getting together. In fact, you think about the Wranglers usually being the winner in these matchups, but 7 of the 21 prior meetings have gone past regulation, 4 to overtime, 3 to a shootout, and 12 of the 21 meetings have been decided by 1 or 2 goals. And in those matchups, the Wranglers are 8-2, 0-2. You got to think a close game seems to always favor the Wranglers, but especially here against Colorado, may not be as easy as it seems. Grit have points in 7 of their last 11. Wranglers need to win this one in regulation as Morley Phillips and Evan Smutney meet at center circle for a ceremonial puck drop. Coming up next here from the foothills of the Rockies, we'll have the national anthem, and when we return, it is first period puck drop between the Wranglers and the Grit. It all comes down to this, and we got it for you here on NATV. That concludes the Austin Hose pregame show. We're back in just a moment here at Greeley Ice House.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars
We are all set and ready to go here from Greeley, Colorado. Wranglers and the Grit for the 10th time this season. This one being the biggest with a lot on the line. Both teams need to have it. We'll see who comes out on top. Amarillo, winners in their last game, 2-1 in overtime against Lone Star. Colorado, winner in their last game, 2-1 in overtime in this building against New Mexico. The Levy's got a break, and we'll see who comes out on top here tonight. Thank you for joining us here on NATV or YouTube this evening. I'm Chiarenza, here from Greeley Ice House. William Johnson will meet William Larson at center circle to get things started here in Greeley. Our referee tonight is Mr. Ottenberg. He drops the puck, and away we go in Greeley, Colorado. The Grit have it off the opening face-off, but are quickly divorced from the puck. Right in front of the scorer's table, merging on ahead, is Alexander Oleslov. He grinds his way down the right wing, pops it forward looking for LaFrance. Colorado is able to swoop it over to the near side wall, where it's held in for a moment by Hedquist. Forced back out to the neutral zone. Luca Ori gains the red line and bounces to the outside. Colorado tries to scurry their way into the attacking zone, ends up being offside. 26 seconds into the contest, and we get our first skirmish off the first whistle. Bodies come together, quickly broken up. They'll reconvene right in front of the Wranglers bench for a neutral zone face-off, and Amarillo has won that one. Wendorf, on his first North American Hockey League shift, plays it over to his D partner in Heikki Paipinen, who rips it into the attacking zone. Sanderdahlin tries to peel it off the far side wall, ends up coming to Poirier, scampering up ahead, gets decked by Wendorf, and he's divorced from the puck. Paipinen will look to regain possession for the Wranglers. Right at the end wall, Colorado rips it free. Man to the middle, bounces off the stick of Poirier, and the Wranglers take flight. It's Miller on the run. He gains the red line and pops it to the far corner and heads to the bench. Phillips stays out there on the forecheck for Amarillo. Wranglers work the puck from low to high to Paipinen. Sidestep, creeps on in, rips one wide of Sterling. Momentum carries the puck out of the zone, and Wendorf will give chase. Carson Wendorf, formerly of the NA3HL's Wilmar Warhawks, slides it up ahead off the stick of Azadi and heads off for a line change. Colorado wheels their way down the far near side wall as Lupo will retrieve it, playing defense night with Boulanger deep in his own territory. Puck goes to the end wall. Noble gets a tap on it. Lupo is able to get the puck, finds Azadi up ahead, who hits Rasega in stride. They'll move in tandem. Down the right wing they go. Puck is weaseled away from them to Noble at the blue line. Gains some speed, whacks it off the far side wall, and goes careening to the end wall, where he's jostled by Lupo. Puck goes down the length of the ice. No icing as the Wranglers are able to get a full line change in. O'Donohue out there for his first shift in the North American Hockey League. Wearing number 15 for the Wranglers this evening. He takes in a puck on the far side half wall. Wranglers try and punch it out to neutral ice. It jumbles to the circle. Colorado tries to put it on goal, but Hedquist gets in front. They'll leave it for Evshunev, who locates Welburn, and now Ribeiro on the near side wall. Welburn takes it in at the blue line. Bangs it off the far wall to O'Donohue. On the right side, he'll go around the net. Just lost an edge on it as he tried to put it in on the wraparound. O'Donohue flying out here on his first shift as he tries to keep puck possession in the near corner. Players emerge, and Pavlovich has it for Colorado. Wendorf blows a tire at the red line, but gets the puck back. Nifty move, and he's over center circle. Prods it up ahead, where it's reeled in by Gurman. Colorado captain loses the puck to Oleslov. He'll churn forward. Oleslov takes in a hit, but plays the puck down deeper. Play goes to the near corner. Oleslov there again as well, working with LaFrance. Puck squeaks out behind Sterling, and Peters will flip it through the neutral zone and down the length of the ice for an icing on the Grit with 16:42 to go in the first. So good action so far here tonight in Colorado. Colorado, one of those teams that really likes to use their speed to their advantage. So far tonight, the Wranglers have not let them do that. And we'll see if Amarillo is able to take advantage of some chances that Colorado will give them to move in transition and on the rush. Larson to take the face-off on the near side circle, wins it to Oleslav on the wall. Shot from Lupo at the point, gets blocked, and goes out of play with 16:39 to go. We're just getting started here in Greeley, Colorado, between the Wranglers and the Grit. Make sure you got a beverage of your choice, a nice dinner on the tap. Happy to have you with us wherever you're watching or listening. Off the face-off again on that near circle. Oleslav has it. Below the goal line, hangs on, being shadowed by Peters. He kicks it to LaFrance, who emerges in the near side corner, takes a spill courtesy of Helgeson as bodies come together, and the puck is up for grabs. Board battle ensues. Oleslav's able to get it away to LaFrance. He'll center, looking for Larson. Instead, only found a Grit player out in front, and Colorado moves in transition. Here's that speed as Ori drops it off for Johnson. Has Peters at the right point. He'll shoot into traffic, and Girard gets just enough. His first save of the night comes through a screen. More checking and more hitting on the near side wall as Johnson has it below the goal line. Ori backhands it to the slot, intercepted by Lupo, and he'll skate ahead. Over the red line, Mason Lupo trying to do it all. Puck is knifed away from him by Helgeson, as everyone else on the ice for Amarillo got off on a line change. Poirier tries to split the D. Welburn in a diving effort makes sure that the puck doesn't end up being a shot on goal. Instead just rolls in on Girard, who freezes as we approach 5 minutes gone by here in tonight's game. There's that line for the Wranglers. Satterdahlin, Phillips, and Miller. Off that face-off, Colorado wins it at the right point. Smutny to the goal, in and out of the glove of Girard as it plops down onto the tape of Welburn. Big defenseman jolts it out to the neutral zone. Colorado flings it right back in on Girard, who kicks it to Hedquist on the far corner. As Welburn behind the net, tries to play it upwards and out of the zone, but goes off the skate of Poirier and stays in Wrangler territory. He'll stash it behind the goal line as Hedquist takes a spill, moving with Rue. Back on his feet, Satterdahlin will elevate it to the neutral zone, looking for Jacob Miller. He'll skate up ahead, working against Smutny. Smutny able to escape as he has an open man on the far side wall. Colorado again trying to move on the rush. Wranglers are able to shut that down and punch it back down to Sterling. Junker emerges from behind the net in the middle of a 3-game point streak, 1 goal and 2 assists in that span. Pumps the puck back out to the neutral zone where Wendorf will carry in. On the right wing, he shoots off a leg and out of play. 5 minutes and 21 seconds here into the first. Face off on the far circle. Colorado's got it. Gurman over to the near side, has an avenue to break out, courtesy of a couple men up ahead, one of them being Noah Grolnick. Ribeiro dislodges him from the puck and piles it behind Sterling. O'Donoghue on the forecheck, trying to keep it in the zone, and Evsunev is able to do it, working in tandem with O'Donoghue as Pipinen swipes it in at the left point to O'Donoghue on the wall. Ribeiro shoots, blockered away by Sterling. Rebound goes to Pavlovich, who outlets Grolnick on the left wing, and the Grit move in a 3-on-3. Noble on the right wing, looks to center, goes off the stick of Grolnick, and O'Donoghue tried to shovel it out. Came back to Boulanger, playing defense tonight, who gains the red line and whipples it into the Colorado zone. And talking to Boulanger before the game, says that he has played a little bit of defense before, so not entirely new to him as he puts a shot on goal that's turned away by Sterling. Now Smith has it through the neutral zone for the Grit. Snapshot blocked by Boulanger, and now from the wall, one goes through the crease and out the other side. That behind Girard has come off, so they'll blow a whistle with 13:31 on the clock, and we'll get a moment to pause. Shot count is 4-3 in favor of Colorado, and something that I've learned in this building over the years is that shot count seems to be a bit inflated at times. So take it with a grain of salt. There was a game where we saw almost 100 shots on goal combined between these two clubs. Charlie Zollman was in net for that game for the Wranglers, which I believe ended up being a shootout victory. There's a lot of shots in that game. Maybe not as much as the board reflected, but hey, there's still a lot of shots in that game. And of course, if you're a goaltender, you got to like that, especially when you're on the winning side. Off the D-zone face-off, Wranglers get out to center. Oleslov over the red line, angles it to the far corner. Junker gets there for Colorado. Shadowing him is LaFrance. Grit are able to find their way through the neutral zone as Smutny comes crashing in on the left side. He's checked hard by Welburn, and that jolts him off the puck as number 2 in white locates LaFrance on the far side wall. LaFrance being pestered by Kenan Riles, the Grit leader in penalty minutes with 2:09. But the Wranglers able to hang on as Welburn now relays it to the neutral zone in search of Phillips. It'll evade his stick, and the Grit will now take their chances to go up ice. That's the way these games usually go. Back and forth action. A lot of stuff off the rush. Pretty stark in contrast to what we saw against Lone Star last week, and a team that really likes to bog things down. As Colorado volleys it deep to the Wrangler end wall, Pipinen able to dash it over to Wendorf. He'll angle it off the near wall to the neutral zone. Phillips can't haul it in. Rakowski can, as Rakowski down the middle, toe drag, gets in tight, and Girard is able to steal it away. As Charles-Antoine Girard seems to have picked up right where he left off. Number 1 in his jersey. And he has been number 1 so far tonight in making saves. That is his 5th of the night. Face off to his left. Wood will win it for the Wranglers. Noah Wood playing some of his best hockey in a Wrangler uniform as of late, as he had the regulation goal for the Wranglers on Sunday as Amarillo puts it down into the Colorado end. Wood on the forecheck, tries to scoop it off the near corner. Azadi trying to help out, gets tripped up. Oleslov kicks it, make that Rasega kicks it over to the near side half wall. Colorado able to escape as Johnson on the right wing. Looks for a trailer, he's got him. Gurman to the middle, picked off by Rasega on the back check. Dan Rasega flutters it through the neutral zone for Azadi on the far wall. He's able to tap it to Wood in the corner. He gets bodied up as the rest of his line mates had gone off for a change. Ori now has it on the right wing. Gets his way to the goal line and goes around the net. Loses the puck to Lupo and then subsequently gets it back. Turns it over on a low to high pass. O'Donohue was able to get in front. Boulanger tries to pinch Poirier away from the puck. Poirier down the left wing, shoots, and it's turned away by Girard. At the right point, Sinclair holds and shoots off the leg of Lupo and wide. Puck comes to the line, Ribeiro grabs it in, and he moves 2-on-2 with Evshunev. Halts at the right point, punches it to the near side corner. Colorado gets possession and immediately rolls out to the neutral zone. LaFrance picks it away. Puck is chipped back down to center ice and a little bit more as Wendorf drains it in his own zone. Wranglers trying to find an avenue to break out. LaFrance at the red line. Can't take in the pass. Oleslov grinds his way into the attacking zone and leaves it for Larson. On the right wing, Larson has Oleslov at the goal line. He'll center back to Larson, and he's shut down by Sterling. Puck is available. LaFrance gets it back to Larson. Trying to play it over to a man on the far wing, but nobody was there. That's probably the Wranglers' best chance of the night so far. Delayed offside on the Wranglers as Colorado has the puck. Smutny over the red line. Lifts it into Wrangler territory. It'll hippity-hop to Girard. He'll leave it for Pipinen as we approach 10 minutes gone by here in the first. Pipinen has Wendorf along the right wing. He'll arc it to the near corner, just out of the reach of Miller. Colorado got there first. Grolnick has a man taking flight. It's Landon West. He'll shoot. Stick save made by Girard. Behind the net, Satterdalen reels the puck in. Looks for Miller at the blue line. He'll backpedal. A survey of the scene as he slowly skates forward. At the blue line, pounds it off the right pad of Sterling to the near corner. Puck goes around to the far wall for Satterdalen. On his forecheck, on his forehand, he gets pinched. Puck comes to the line for Welburn. He tattoos it off the end wall on a shot attempt. Now Grolnick has it in the neutral zone. Welburn gets back defensively to divorce him from the puck. And now Hedquist will turn his head upwards and look to break out for the Wranglers as the puck goes off a stick and out of play all the way to the back end of the stands. So somebody's coming away with a souvenir here, and thankfully no injuries. As we had a brief convergence between the two clubs in the neutral zone. And it looks like this face-off is going to be in the neutral zone. And so for Amarillo, we will see the Wood, Izzati, and Rasega line come out there. You know what? Looks like we're going to take a timeout. As with 9:14 left to go in the first period. Still scoreless here in Greeley. We'll be back in just a moment on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
When you know where you're going, you do what it takes to move forward. For me, that means money in the bank. Saving cash. So this is my ride. My granddad's old truck.
Saving is cool again, especially with fantastic rates and free checking at A&B.
Thanks, Pop.
No, it's it's me, the A&B guy. Amarillo National Bank. Amarillo before bank.
We want to help you thrive no matter what stage of life you're in. Your prescription for well-being starts at United Supermarkets, where your neighborhood pharmacists are here to give you the care you need when you need it. From expert consultation to personalized care and all your wellness essentials, and giving you your best shot at prevention with immunizations, we understand that every step towards health is a step towards happiness. So whether you're picking up or we're dropping off, we're here for you.
Still scoreless here in Greeley, Colorado. 9:11 left in the first period as we're back to live action. Wranglers ice the puck here on the latest sequence. And so it looks like we're coming back down to Wrangler territory here. Shot count reads 6-4 in favor of Colorado. It'll be to the right of Gerard. So Noah Wood will take this face-off for the Wranglers. On that hot line with Izzati and Rasega. But a false start here on the drop. Three-man officiating crew here tonight, led by Mr. Ottenberg. Your linesmen are Sabatino and Hopkins. As the puck is dropped and Colorado has the puck. Spinning like a turnstile is Ori. Drop pass to Johnson. He rips it over to the right point for Smutny. They'll look to drop it down low, looking for Ori. He's got him, shadowed by Boulanger. And Boulanger and Wood are able to rip the puck away, and they look for Izzati in the neutral zone. It's out of his reach. Rasega's going to skate into it. He'll get there first in the far corner. Wranglers complete a line change behind the scenes as Izzati and Rasega stay out on the forecheck. Rasega still with it, working hard, trying to squirm away from Junker. Rasega gets it to his forehand now, behind the net, centers, goes up to the line for Wendorf. He'll shoot, goes off a stick and stays in play. Puck plops down on the far wall, back onto the tape of Rasega, and he puts it on goal, and falling backwards was Sterling to make the grab. He snags it with the glove hand and freezes with 8:16 left in the opening frame. What a shift there from Daniel Rasega. And we've seen him do that time and time again this season. Really shouldn't be a surprise at this point. Just a very hard worker and uses his speed to advantage. And that's really the reason why that whole sequence comes to fruition, is because Rasega able to outwork every single guy on the ice, able to win that race to the puck in the far corner and get things started and then stay strong on it. As Colorado was trying to pinch it away from him, Rasega said, not this time. Able to hang on and make something happen out of it. Now we see the line of O'Donoghue, Ribeiro, and Evshunev come on. As on the offensive zone face-off, Evshunev centers just out of the reach for O'Donoghue, and the Wranglers will see the puck go back out to the neutral zone. Rue glides down the left wing. They'll pummel the puck down to Gerard, who comes out to play it. Quickly off the stick of Pipanen, reeled in by O'Donoghue on the far wall. Mann tries to strip him of it, and does just that. Mann looks to center, and it's picked off by O'Donoghue. High alert play from the newest Wrangler. Colorado able to get it back, though, as on the left wing, Mann can't take in a pass. Shoots it out the outside of the net. Wendorf able to shoulder away Poirier, and the Wranglers now have clean possession as Pipanen will locate Ribeiro in the neutral zone. Bouncing puck at the red line. Grabbed by Rue. Softly put on goal to Gerard, who freezes with 7:25 on the clock. Face-off will be to the right of Gerard. Larson will take the face-off as his line comes out there. Puck ping-pongs around off that face-off, and the Wranglers will put it through the neutral zone, and it will end up being an icing at just enough steam. And so out of all that, we're going back down near Gerard. And for Charles-Antoine Gerard, he's really elevated his play as of late. Got to speak with him 2 weeks ago on an episode of Wranglers Weekly, and simply put, said that he's having fun. He's having fun playing hockey, and it really shows, as Gerard has been outstanding over his last handful of starts. Off the face-off, diving to the goal was West, and he's going to draw a penalty on that sequence as the puck rolled in on Gerard. And we're going to see what the call is. It's going to be tripping. We'll see who goes. I believe they're going to get LaFrance for the first penalty of the night. And that is the case. Face-off will be to the right of Gerard. Colorado power play comes out there, operating at 16.9% on the season, 23rd best in the North American Hockey League. Wrangler penalty kill has been perfect in 3 of its last 4. As Colorado on the doorstep has it knocked away by Boulanger and piping it out in front. At the right point, it's Helgeson creeping down, looks to center, and Gerard is able to kick it away from Ori on the top of the blue paints. And Miller will rifle it all the way down for a Wrangler clear. This Wrangler penalty kill has really elevated its play as of late. Perfect in 3 of its last 4, 14 for 15 in that span. That's about 93%. But this Colorado power play has scored in 3 of its last 6. As here comes Ori right in tight, and Gerard takes away the angle, shuts him down again. And Miller, once again, will backhand it down the length of the ice for a Wrangler clear. That Colorado 6 for 25 in that span on the power play in their last 6 games, operating at 24% in that span. So you've got a hot power play going up against a hot penalty kill, and so far, this Wranglers PK unit has done the job. Phillips, Wellburn, Olislov, and Hedquist are the penalty killers. As Rakowski splits the D, shoots it wide right of Gerard, and another penalty is called. Looks like Colorado's going to a 5-on-3 power play. As Hedquist touched the puck, and they'll peel away players on the end wall. It's Rakowski who is there for Colorado, and Wellburn for Amarillo. We'll see who will take a seat here on the latest infraction. It'll be the captain, Morley Phillips, taking a seat. Hooking is the call. And this penalty kill will really be put to the test. Think back to the 3-game set against Lone Star. Wranglers were able to kill off a 5-on-3 sequence multiple times over the course of the weekends. They're going to need a little bit more of that juice here against a Colorado team that likes to play with a lot of speed. Penalty killers for the Wranglers, Satterdahlin, Boulanger, and Pipinen. Colorado off the faceoff, has it on the left wing, it's Ori. Up top to Junker, fakes, plays it right wing, Johnson one-timer, and I think Gerard caught that up high, off the mask, and it comes out of the zone. It either hit Gerard on the noggin, or went screeching wide, and momentum carried it back out to center. Colorado's back in on the 2-man advantage for the next 27 seconds. At the right point, Johnson across. Junker back to Johnson. High slot, down low. Grolnick out in front. Sticked away by Gerard to the far corner. Helgeson now back up top to Junker. Pump fake, exchanges with Ori. Back to Junker. One-timer off a stick and wide. Ori now at the left point. Creeps to the right for Johnson. Hauls it into the circle. Back up top to Ori. He'll shoot from there, and it's gobbled up by Gerard with 1 second left on the 5-on-3. So we are just about set for LaFrance to come out of the penalty box. And then it'll be a 5-on-4 power play for Colorado for the next minute and 8 seconds. Critical face-off coming up here. If the Wranglers can win this, they can just clear it down and then start the next sequence of the penalty kill. But if Colorado wins it, they might have a few more seconds to work with before the Wranglers can get that 4th man on the ice. And off that face-off, Colorado does win it, but they play it out of the zone. And out of the box is LaFrance, and Miller joins the fray to punch it back down to the Colorado end wall. So now it's a 5-on-4 man advantage for the Grit, As entering on the left wing is Gurman. Off the wall to himself, goes around the goal and is boxed away by Hedquist. Smutny keeps it in. Point to the left wing for Mann, and now got a whistle with 4:46 to go in the period. And 43 seconds left on the penalty to Phillips. Looked like the net behind Gerard had come off a little bit. And I think they're going to take this face-off out of the zone. They will, so that's a big break for the Wranglers. Still in the penalty kill here. Face-off comes out of their own end, and now the penalty killers get a swap as well. It's Wood, Rasega, Welburn, and Hedquist. 2 forwards, 2 deep for the Wranglers here on this latest section of the PK. As Rasega is able to rifle it through the neutral zone and down for a clear off the face-off victory. And so now Colorado has just 30 seconds left on their power play. It's Mann on the left wing trying to go cross ice. Puck simmers down in the far corner. Off the end while it goes, and trying to stuff it in was Poirier, and Gerard was there to answer. Wranglers clear, and now Rasega steals it away. He'll go around the net on his backhand, shorthanded. Shaving off time, flips it back out to the neutral zone, and the Wranglers have done it again. Launch it down one more time. Phillips out of the box, and we're back to even strength. Amarillo opens this critical contest, going a perfect 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. Peters gets stopped at the red line. Puck rolls down to Gerard. He'll paddle it the pipe and in the near corner. And now back the other way he goes to Wendorf. Wendorf trying to create some separation. He's got speed through the neutral zone. Wendorf staying to the outside, gets decked by Peters. And the Wranglers will try and keep possession on the forecheck. Wendorf gets back into position. Phillips throws a check on Sinclair. As the puck comes out of the zone on the stick of Noble. Cross-ice feed picked off by Wendorf. Has Miller up ahead. Miller on the right wing delays. He'll shoot. Deflection out in front was Satterdahl. Couldn't find it in the back of the net. Now Miller a try. And it's blocked by West. And the Grit clear. It'll come on goal to Gerard, so no icing. And he will freeze it as Grolnick was in the vicinity. 3:07 left in the first period. Well, boy, Phillips and Miller play so similarly. It's really tough to pick them out sometimes, especially considering that I think at one point Morley Phillips last year was wearing 21, and now Miller's 21, and it still gets me sometimes. But on that latest sequence, those two and Satterdahl all combined for a really good shift in the offensive zone. We're probably just a couple of inches away from beating Sterling. Still a scoreless game, though, here as we approach 3 minutes left in the first. LaFrance battles for it in the neutral zone. Able to get it to Larson. Over the attacking line. Puck is spurred away from number 9 in white. And now Colorado will handle. Helgeson up the far wall and all the way down. That will go for an icing on the Grit with 2:49 on the clock. And the shot count reads 11-7 in favor of Colorado. Face off to the right of Sterling. Larson will take it for the Wranglers against Smith. To slap it to Oleslov. Spinning in the near corner. Puck leaks over to the far side. LaFrance able to get a touch on it to push it down deeper. Oleslov there for the Wranglers, working with LaFrance against Helgeson. Wranglers trying to plunder the puck away, and they do. Welburn takes a crack at it, and it's into the glove of Sterling with 2:30 left in the period. And Will Welburn lets it fly there on that latest sequence. He's been doing that a lot as of late. He'll stay out there on this latest sequence. Face off now to the left of Sterling. Larson will take it. Again for the Wranglers. This time the opponent is William Johnson. Larson's won another. Back up top to Welburn. Slips it down the wall to Oleslov, who meets Junker at the half wall. Puck pops up out of play into the protective netting, and so we'll get another stoppage just 9 seconds after the one prior. And a bit of a scrum there after that latest whistle, so we'll have to separate that, and it looks like Wranglers are going to make a line change as on comes the Wood, Izadi, and Rasega line. Make sure you stick with us here at the end of the first period for the first intermission report presented by Amarillo National Bank. talk about the first period, look ahead to period 2, and also take a peek at that very important out-of-town scoreboard. We got a big game going on at Ector County Coliseum. All that coming up next on the first intermission report as Welburn takes it in deep at his own end wall. Hedquist twirls it up ahead looking for a Sega. Instead finds Wood going up ahead. He is wedged off the puck by Johnson. Wranglers bombard the puck into the Colorado zone from the red line. Look at a change on the blue line. As out of the corner comes Rasega. Pipinen can't keep the play alive. He'll give chase back to his own zone as Ori is right on his footsteps. Rasega at the red line, tries to simmer down a hot puck with Azadi working with them. They do just that. Azadi comes in, has a man on the right side for a shot. That was Eshchenev. It gets blocked and is angled to Sterling, who freezes with 1:29 to go. Again, afterwards, some pushing and shouting, and it's Ori and Azadi who are hot at the moment. And those two will be separated and sent on their way to their respective benches. Meanwhile, on comes the line of Ribeiro, Evshunev, and O'Donohue. And off the face-off, Colorado has it. Gurman behind the cage, moves to the near wing and gains some steam. Gurman through the neutral zone, off the wall to himself. Gets it in the near corner, and it's checked hard by Wendorf. Wranglers try and pry the puck away. Instead, Poirier keeps it for Colorado. At the left point has Roux. Across to Gurman. Holds and shoots. Fought off by Gerard and directed out of play. 1:05 left in the period. Face-off will be on the near circle to the left of Gerard, and another line change here for the Wranglers. As on comes the Boulanger and Lupo pairing with the Phillips, Satterdahlin, and Miller line. Face-off is won by the Wranglers. Lupo to Boulanger behind the net. And the outlets to Miller at center circle. Puck is spurred off of his stick by Sinclair, the two former teammates. And Colorado will look to find a way out of their own end in the final minute of the first. Poirier has it on the left wing, stops on a dime and looks to center. As Roux down below the goal line. He'll ride back up the wall, now turn down deeper and turn the puck over to Lupo. He'll jab it up to Phillips, who swipes it to the neutral zone. Miller tries to hack it up ahead, but gets stood up by Helgeson. Puck pinballs over the red line, and Helgeson skates into it. Feeds it to the right wing. Poirier, a shot, kick save Gerard. The rebound handled by Phillips. The captain over the red line, looking to get something started here. Drops it off for Miller. He'll shoot off a leg and wide. Lupo now, left point shot blocked by Poirier. Puck tumbles into the Wranglers zone. It's a foot race. Roux gets there, but a diving effort by Welburn sends him to the wall. They'll pitch it over to the left wing for a shot by West. Wranglers break that up. And in the final moments of the first period, players come together, and the period has come to a close. Through 20 minutes of play, we are scoreless here in Greeley, Colorado. Coming up next here on the first intermission report, we'll talk about what happened here in the first period, look ahead to the second, and what the Wranglers need to do to get some scoring on the board. And we will also take a peek at that very important out-of-town scoreboard as the Odessa Jackalopes are hosting the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. That game is big for both squads as they both want Odessa to lose. All that coming up next here from Greeley, Colorado on the first intermission report presented by Amarillo National Bank. We're back in just a moment, but first a word from our local sponsors. Again, through 20 minutes of play, it is Amarillo nothing and Colorado nothing. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
And get on down to Hooters.
Work. It means getting up early, and getting on the road. It takes commitment, perseverance, and grit. You always get the job done. That's why at UniFirst, we provide the uniforms and services you need to work harder, smarter, and safer. We always deliver. Because you always deliver.
Your ordinary jobs deserve extraordinary quality. Skip the big box and save with Flex Tech and Austin Hose. With crush-resistant fittings and superior resistance to abrasion, weather, ozone, and oil, Flex Tech water hoses provide outstanding strength at a value that washes the competition away. And be sure to make those ordinary jobs that much easier with our vast selection of Quick Connect fittings. And now, take simplicity one step further with the Dixon Constant Flow Nozzle. Simply twist the nozzle head to adjust from a wide to long spray pattern to tackle any job. And it's internally sealed for easy installation, leak-free handling, and true water shutoff. Rated up to 300 PSI, FlexTech air hoses provide the durability and cost efficiency of PVC with a look and feel that simulates the flexibility of a traditional rubber hose. Pair your FlexTech air hose with the Milton blowgun, and even your toughest jobs are an absolute breeze. So when you're tired of the ordinary, put FlexTech to the test. Call Austin Hose today.
When you know where you're going, you do what it takes to move forward. For me, that means money in the bank. Saving cash. So this is my ride. My granddad's old truck.
Saving is cool again, especially with fantastic rates and free checking at A&B.
Thanks, Pop Pop.
No, it's it's me, the A&B guy. Amarillo National Bank. Amarillo before bank.
We want to help you thrive no matter what stage of life you're in. Your prescription for well-being starts at United Supermarkets, where your neighborhood pharmacists are here to give you the care you need when you need it. From expert consultation to personalized care and all your wellness essentials, and giving you your best shot at prevention with immunizations, we understand that every step towards health is a step towards happiness. So whether you're picking up or we're dropping off, we're here for you.
AMA Techtel is just first rate. We had a flood here last year. We don't have any internet, we don't have any phones, we have nothing. By the time I got from my house to downtown, AMA Techtel already had a crew of men there. I can't imagine doing business without AMA Techtel. They're that important.
Welcome back to Greeley Ice House, home of the Colorado Grit. As here on a Friday night, here in March, we are scoreless through one period of play at the foothills of the Rockies. It's a must-win game for the Wranglers. They have got to have it. And in the first period, some good scoring chances for the Wranglers, but just couldn't find a way to break through. Shot count ends up being 11-7 in favor of Colorado through one period of play. And that's only a figure that I think is going to creep upwards as the night goes on. I think that as the night carries on, I think we're going to see a higher shot volume on both sides as each period moves forward, not just the overall total. I know more shots are going to be scored, but I mean like in the next period, I think we're going to see more shots taken by both teams on either side. And so interesting to see what we'll see in the second intermission, but through one here in Colorado, not much on the scoring side of things. We have had two penalties called in tonight's game. Both were against the Wranglers, and that sent the Wranglers to what was first a 5-on-4 penalty kill, and then ultimately a 5-on-3 penalty kill for a good chunk of time. And for this Wranglers squad, their penalty kill has really elevated its play as of late, and it came into effect here as now Amarillo has killed off 16 of their last 17 penalties. And so things are riding good for this Wrangler power play that has really been a sore spot as the season has gone on. That storyline is now dead. Penalty kill has been lights out for the Wranglers over the last couple of games. They were perfect in their last two against Lone Star. So far good, so good here today as Colorado seem to be buzzing around on that power play, and this is a Grit power play that has scored in 3 of its last 6 games coming into tonight. And in each of those games that they scored twice. And so for the Wranglers to come away unscathed after a 5-on-3, we'll take that all day, any day. The penalty kill has been money for the Wranglers so far here tonight. Wranglers have not had a chance on the power play, although given how physical this game has been at times and how chippy it's been, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Wranglers get a crack at it in the second period. And if they do, watch out for that Wrangler power play because it's been really good as of late as well, as the Wranglers power play has scored in 5 of its last 8 games, going 6 for 28 in that span. It's about 21.4%. So special teams might play a factor as this game goes on, but so far only 2 penalties called, both against the Wranglers, as Charles-Antoine Girard has done it again, and it seems like he's been very, very consistently good over the last handful of starts that he's had, and really, it's been a good year for Girard. I think that you look at his stats, and they seem a little bit inflated, and that's because at times he had come in relief for Charlie Zolan early in the year, kind of made things a little bit blown out of proportion. I think Girard has had an excellent year for the Wranglers. Just hasn't really equated to the winning category like he would have liked, but I think for Girard, really over his last couple of starts, we saw it in the game on Saturday against Lone Star. He has been dialed in ever since he's been back between the pipes. We saw it in Oklahoma City in that comeback win against the Warriors. We saw it on a Saturday night in New Mexico where Girard and the Wranglers fell in a 3-2 loss. But Girard, in every single game he's played in over the last month or so, has been really, really good. And so he's brought the A game back between the pipes for the Wranglers here tonight. He's done it again here in Greeley, Colorado. Very solid first period for Girard. And I think now for the Wranglers is the question that we've been asking for really over the last month or so, and you can argue really all season long. Where is the scoring? The Wranglers need to find a way to put pucks into the back of the net, as their scoring woes have really bit them over the last couple of weeks, as the Wranglers scored 3 goals in a 3-game set against Lone Star. Did win 2-1 in overtime on Sunday, but you think about this Wranglers squad, scoring has come at a premium, and the Wranglers' last 2 goals they had scored outside of overtime had come in the first period. So the Wranglers are in the middle of a 3-game second period scoring drought. They're in the middle of a 5-game third period scoring drought. So you look at this game here in Greeley, Colorado, something's got to give for the Wranglers. They have to find a way to score in the second and third periods, as really the first period has been the Wranglers' best scoring period all season. Now the first period has come to an end, and we'll see what the Wranglers can do in the second and third periods. But I really think with the way that the penalty kill is playing right now, with the way Girard is playing right now, this is the game where the Wranglers don't have to go run and gun and score 5 goals tonight to win. I think this is one of those games that the Wranglers could probably manage winning, scoring around 2 to 3 goals if they're able to play solid defense. And you think about the lineup coming into tonight, where the Wranglers were dressing 2 natural forwards at a defensive position with Whited and White out. You really got to love coming out of the first period with 0 goals against, and I think that just goes to show how well Girard's playing, how well this defense has been able to adapt on the fly. And so give a lot of credit to that Wrangler decor there, and to Wranglers really coming into tonight's matchup, being able to really adapt and just simmer in. And you think about Carson Wendorf playing in his first game in the North American Hockey League. He logged a lot of minutes in the first period, and I thought he played very well. I like him on that pairing with Pipinen. Pipinen, one of those guys that's gotten really sturdier and sturdier as the year has gone on. You pair him with Wendorf. I think that's been a good pairing for the Wranglers so far here tonight. I was actually pleasantly surprised at the Lupo and Boulanger pairing. They did it pretty much everything that they needed to do in the first period, and they're able to continue that. I like the Wranglers' chances at winning this game. And you think about the other guy making his league debut here tonight, Trevor O'Donoghue. I think I said his name a lot there in the first period, but just goes to show that he's been getting into place. He's been making things happen. I'm really excited to see O'Donoghue make his debut here tonight. Really liked what he brought to training camp with the Wranglers. Look at his numbers with Big B Coffee. I mean, it's just amazing down there. So I'm really excited to see what O'Donoghue can do here for the Wranglers down the stretch, as he did sign a tender earlier on in the season while playing for Big B Coffee. Now he gets in some reps down the stretch, and he should be a staple for the Wranglers here for the next couple of years, as O'Donoghue, just 17 years old, 07 birth year, born in November. I think he's going to be one of those fan favorites for Wrangler fans for quite some time. So I like what those guys were able to do there in the first period. And now we turn our sights to not just the second period, but to the out-of-town scoreboard as well. We've got a score update from Odessa, and it is not pretty. We'll talk all about it on the other side of the break. Wranglers and Grit are scoreless after 1. We'll get to that out-of-town scoreboard here as we come back for the first intermission report presented by Amarillo National Bank. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
and get on down to Hooters.
Work. It means getting up early and getting on the road. It takes commitment, perseverance, and grit. You always get the job done. That's why at UniFirst, we provide the uniforms and services you need to work harder, smarter, and safer. We always deliver. Because you always deliver.
Your ordinary jobs deserve extraordinary quality. Skip the big box and save with FlexTech and Austin Hose. With crush-resistant fittings and superior resistance to abrasion, weather, ozone, and oil, FlexTech water hoses provide outstanding strength at a value that washes the competition away. And be sure to make those ordinary jobs that much easier with our vast selection of Quick Connect fittings. And now, take simplicity one step further with the Dixon Constant Flow Nozzle. Simply twist the nozzle head to adjust from a wide to long spray pattern to tackle any job. And it's internally sealed for easy installation, leak-free handling, and true water shutoff. Rated up to 300 PSI, FlexTech air hoses provide the durability and cost efficiency of PVC with a look and feel that simulates the flexibility of a traditional rubber hose. Pair your FlexTech air hose with the Milton blow gun, and even your toughest jobs are an absolute breeze. So when you're tired of the ordinary, put FlexTech to the test. Call Austin Hose today.
When you know where you're going, you do what it takes to move forward. For me, that means money in the bank, saving cash. So this is my ride, my granddad's old truck.
Saving is cool again, especially with fantastic rates and free checking at A&B.
Thanks, Pop Pop.
No, it's it's me, the A&B guy. Amarillo National Bank. Amarillo before bank.
We want to help you thrive no matter what stage of life you're in. Your prescription for well-being starts at United Supermarkets, where your neighborhood pharmacists are here to give you the care you need when you need it. From expert consultation to personalized care and all your wellness essentials, and giving you your best shot at prevention with immunizations, we understand that every step towards health is a step towards happiness. So whether you're picking up or we're dropping off, we're here for you.
AMA TechTel is just first rate. We had a flood here last year. We don't have any internet, we don't have any phones, we have nothing. By the time I got from my house to downtown, AMA TechTel already had a crew of men there. I can't imagine doing business without AMA TechTel. They're that important.
We're about set for a second period action here in Greeley, Colorado. Welcome you back to the first intermission report presented by Amarillo National Bank. Let's get to the out-of-town scoreboard as, first and foremost, the Wranglers need to take care of business here in Greeley, but they're also hoping that the Odessa Jackalopes lose to the Corpus Christi Ice Rays this weekend. They are in the beginning of a two-game set over at Ector County Coliseum, and so far, not so good over in the Permian Basin as Odessa has a 5-3 lead over the Ice Rays through two periods of play. Jack Lesperance has put on a show. He completes the hat trick here in the second period to give Odessa the 5-3 lead. Odessa also getting goals from Caden Giosi and Cohen Belsterling. The Wranglers will see the Jackalopes for 3 next week. Corpus Christi getting goals from Stepan Kuznetsov, Pearson Sobush, and former Wrangler Grayson Gerhard to narrow the deficit to 2. We'll see if Corpus Christi can come back against the Jacks. In other news around the league, over at El Paso County Event Center, the Rhinos and the Ice Wolves are scoreless about 5 minutes into the second period. That game could be a preview of the play-in between those two clubs, as New Mexico currently sits in the 4th seed and El Paso currently sits in the 5th. As looks like final stop over at Blazers Ice Center, Lone Star Brahmas visiting the Oklahoma Warriors. The defending champions have a 2-1 lead thanks to 2 goals from Owen Kerr. That game about 4 minutes gone by in the third period. Oklahoma getting a goal from Charlie Ashton to make it close, as Lone Star's lead is just 1 over in OKC. You can check out all those other scores on the league website, NAHL.com, or you can download the mobile app and check it out for yourself, as there's a lot of other action going on around the other divisions in the North American Hockey League. And so it looks like the Wranglers and the Grit not getting any help from Corpus Christi here tonight, although you can never count out a comeback, right? But that really just drives the point home that you have to take care of your own business, right? And for the Wranglers, they get a chance to do it here tonight. They'll have a chance next weekend in Odessa to continue to do it. And for the Wranglers, that's why they need to win these 2 games here in Greeley. Now, looking at the full playoff picture, which we'll go into more detail in the second intermission report, but in the full playoff picture, that's why the Wranglers need to take care of business. And if they do that, they will just need a little bit more help from either Corpus Christi or New Mexico down the stretch to find their way into the Robertson Cup playoffs for the 3rd consecutive year. But again, the Wranglers need to take care of their own business first and foremost. Scoreless first period here in Greeley, Colorado, makes the next 40 minutes all that more important. And so we'll see what the second period holds here in the foothills of the Rockies, as the Wranglers and the Grit are both back out there for second period action. Wranglers wearing white jerseys with blue numbers and professional red trim. We'll skate from left to right here in the second period. Colorado wearing a black jersey with gold arms, gold numbers, a little bit of white in there, and just regular red trim. We'll skate from right to left here in period 2. Regular season winding down to its conclusion. After this weekend, just 2 weeks remain for the Wranglers, including tonight. 8 games left on the schedule. Not a whole lot of room for error. They'll play Colorado twice here, Odessa 3 next weekend, and then 2 against the Warriors on a Friday and Saturday at the bullpen on the first weekend of April, and then the last day of the regular season on April 6th. These 2 teams will meet again on the final game of the regular season, and if the Wranglers play their cards right and win when they have to, that could be a win and in situation on what could be decision day. But Wranglers have to win to make that happen. And so we'll see if they improve their chances with a big second period here in Colorado. Alexander Oleslov, along with William Larson and Mark LaFrance, will be the starting forward group for the Wranglers here in the second period. Don't forget, Alexander Oleslov scored 2 goals in the Wranglers' last visit to Greeley, Colorado. That being on November 30th in what was a 3-2 shootout win. Larson will take the face-off against Johnson to open period 2. Mr. Hopkins will drop the puck to open the period. He just missed that, and we're back to live action here in colorful Colorado. Grit control off the opening face-off. They'll go cross-ice to Rakowski. Down the left wing, create some separation to the corner. Centers, nobody home. Puck pops out on the far wing. Ori looks to go around Hedquist, but we have a whistle here just 17 seconds into the period. And now Hedquist is jostling with a Colorado player at the end wall. I believe that's Rakowski, and it is. And so we get some bad blood here to start the middle frame. Face off to the left of Gerard. And looks like a bit of a hold up here. Phillips will go to the bench for the Wranglers. And it looks like it'll be Johnson and Larson at the dot. William on William. And William Larson wins it for the Wranglers. Johnson quick to step in, though, get puck possession for Colorado. At the right point, they flip it off the end wall as Ori is crashing the crease. We'll move with Rakowski behind the net. He'll look to center to the right point, and they will. Shot from there is blocked by Oleslov, and LaFrance reels it in. 2-on-2 the other way. LaFrance holds up, delays to Larson. He'll peel away from Johnson and serve it down below the goal line for Oleslov. He gets pinched off the puck. LaFrance keeps possession for the Wranglers. On the left circle, feeds it to the middle. A bomb by Satterdahl and goes into the gullet of Sterling, and he freezes 55 seconds into the period. What a scorcher of a one-timer there from Satterdahl, who just hopped off the bench. LaFrance and Oleslov working there to get it his way. And now Satterdahl will take the face-off against Poirier on the far circle. Satterdahl wins it at the left point. It's Pipinen. He'll shoot into traffic. It's blocked. Phillips taps it to Satterdahl. He gets dragged down. That draws a penalty, and the Wranglers are headed to their first power play of the night. So we speculated during the intermission show that this could be happening soon for the Wranglers, and now they finally get it. They're headed to the power play for the first time this weekend. It's going to be Sheldon Rue going for, looks like cross-checking. And Wranglers go to their first power play. Power play this season operating at 16.9%. That's 24th best, but this Wrangler power play has been surging as of late. Goals in 5 of their last 8. 6 out of 28 in that span, 21.4%. As Rue takes a seat to send the Wranglers to their first power play of the night. Off the face-off, Wranglers put it on goal. Sterling pinches it, and now afterwards, LaFrance got shoved down, and he's slow to get up. In fact, he hasn't gotten up at all yet. And we'll see if we get another penalty called here. And it looks like we are going to see it. I think it's high sticking against Smutney. He's trying to argue against it, but going to need some better representation, buddy. You're going to need a better lawyer. So he will sit, and now the Wranglers, after killing off a 5-on-3 in the first period, will now head to a 5-on-3 here to start the second period. And it's almost a full 2 minutes, a minute and 56. Wranglers have plenty of time to work with. See if the power play can get it done. LaFrance wins the face-off, but it splits the D, which is Welburn and Lupo. And now the Wranglers will just meander back to the deep end, and Welburn will roll it out on the breakout. Olislov surges up ahead as LaFrance on the right wing. Runs it down to the corner, tries to drop it for Olislov. Miscommunication there, but the Swede will catch back up to it as Welburn pinches down at the half wall. He'll dig for it there, and Olislov, just like he does time and time again, is able to grind away. Gets to Welburn at the line. From the high slot, delays to Lupo, top of the left circle, he shoots. Goes off a stick over to the near wall, and Poirier will swipe it down for a Colorado clear. And the Grit will get 3 new penalty killers on. It's Junker, Helgeson, and Johnson. Meanwhile, the Wranglers get fresh power play men on as Welburn remains out there. As Larson on the move, to Resega on the right wing. Digs his way to the circle, gets it back to Larson, tries to stuff it in, and the puck is loose. Top shelf Satterdahl and couldn't go. Piping in now at the line. Handles for the Wranglers. Drifting towards his left, trades places with Evshunev. Gets it to the Evshunev, and he shoots, and it goes wide. Now in the near corner, it's Larson. On his forehand, serves it down low to Resega. Larson gets it back. Up top he goes. Evshunev back to Larson. Holds, feeds it to the middle, and Sterling's got it, only for a moment. Puck available, and Sterling falls on it. And it stays out. Unbelievable. On 2 separate occasions, the Wranglers trying to jam it in. First it was Larson trying to tuck it by the left toe of Sterling. That wouldn't work. And the Wranglers, on that latest sequence, crashed the crease. Puck was loose, and Sterling, in a panic, just fell back on it like a starfish and ended up getting the whistle. .24 seconds left on the 5-on-3. LaFrance will take the face-off on the near circle. Olislov to his right. Phillips to his left. Lupo and Welburn on the back end. Wins it to Lupo. Point to point. Welburn lets it fly. Goes off the outside of the net. And he'll get it back at the left point. Welburn again. Drifting down the line. Gives to Lupo at the right circle. Has Slav down low. Looks to center. LaFrance can't get a shot away. And West will clear. And Colorado's killed it off. And now both squads have gone successful killing off a 5-on-3. We're back to even strength. Puck spits back to Gerard. He'll freeze with Smith in the area with 16:46 left in the period. It's a bit of a missed opportunity for the Wranglers there. They now lead the shot count 14-12, though, as a byproduct of that, but you'd like to see at least a goal or 2 on the board. They end up coming away with nothing. Face off to the right of Gerard. Wranglers have it as Ribeiro able to evade some Colorado forecheckers and have Evshimov fly down the right wing. He'll shoot from there, save Sterling with the pad, and the rebound will be collected by Peters. As Grolnick running down the left wing, he'll take a shot well over the head of Gerard, held in at the right point by Smith. Smith down to the goal line, looks to center for Riles. Off his stick, goes to the far wall. At the point, Junker relays it down and around the wall to the near side half wall where it's gloved down by Boulanger. And punched back out to the neutral zone. Now it's O'Rourke on the near corner. Lays it up to the line for Wendorf. His shot goes wide of the goal. Rebound comes to Wood. Tries to put it back to Sterling. Blocker out in front. Made sure it never got there. Braden Junker now has the puck. He'll fling it through the neutral zone and all the way down. That'll be an icing on Colorado. 4 minutes and 17 seconds gone by here in the middle frame. Face-off will be to the left of Sterling on the near circle. And on comes that Wood, Izadi, and Rasega line with Pipenen and Wendorf manning the blue line. Wood wins it. Wendorf a drive, kicked away by Sterling. Rebound comes to Pipenen, pinching down the left wing. Dashes to the goal line, puts it off the outside of the net. Rebound comes to Smith. He'll float it to the near side, looking for Grolnick. Comes out of his reach to Wendorf. Knocks it up ahead to Rasega. Izadi, drop pass to Wood. He'll shoot from there. Save made by Sterling. Puck comes to the line, but not out. Pipenen keeps it alive. Pumps it into the glove of Junker, who pulls it out of the zone. And now Rasega with it. Quickly exchanges with Pipenen. Colorado gets a partial change in as Wendorf starts the next charge. Off the stick of Izadi, it'll go all the way down, and looks like they're calling that an icing there. Interesting. And now 15:03 is left on the clock here in the second. Thought that hit the stick of Izadi at the Colorado blue line, but I guess not. And so it ends up going back to Wrangler territory for a face-off to the right of Gerard. West will take it for Colorado, and Wood will win it for the Wranglers. Rasega has Izadi at the red line. He'll backhand it into Sterling from there, head off for a line change. On comes the Satterdalen line. Grit able to evade it, moving wing to wing. Noble will slash it down to the goal line where it's collected by Lupo. They'll volley it off the near wall to Phillips, who puts Satterdalen into motion. Down the middle, bounces to the left wing for a quick shot off the glove of Sterling. Wranglers put it back to the Colorado netminder on a shot by Phillips. He turns that away as well. Grit able to skate out as Rue guns it down the left wing. It takes a thunderous check from Thornton. And he has the puck now on the right wing. Thornton to the middle for Satterdalen. He'll shoot, and a save is made by Sterling. Now it's Colorado's turn. 2-on-2 the other way. Rue, toe drag, tries to go around Lupo. Looks to drop it back to Ori, but the Wranglers had it covered. Now Wendorf pitches it up ahead looking for Boulanger. Out of his reach, Helgeson a shot, blocked by his own man in Johnson. The rebound comes to Boulanger. He shimmies his way along the near wall to Phillips. Wranglers captain will knock it to Sterling. Comes out to play it. He'll leave it for Helgeson. Helgeson playing on his third team in the North American Hockey League. Low takes Johnson. Drop pass back to Ori. Top of the right circle, he'll dangle to the high slot, feeds it to the middle, intercepted by LaFrance. And freed from the zone. Peters trying to go right back in. He's offside. And we stop with 13:33 on the clock. Larson, Olislov, and the France line comes on for the Wranglers as the neutral zone faceoff will be taken by Larson and George Poirier. Poirier leads the club with 39 points this season, wins it back to Junker in the middle of a 3-game point streak, gets it back onto the stick of Poirier, who coincidentally is also in the middle of the 3-game point streak. He puts it onto the stick of Hedquist in the slot. He'll flick it through the neutral zone and just wide of Sterling, but no icing as Junker quickly has to evade LaFrance. Wellenburn bangs it back in from the neutral zone. Lucas Mann, formerly of the USHL earlier this season, back in a Colorado uniform, starts the charge for the Grit as he locates Poirier. They'll scoot it off the wall and in. Over to the far wall, Wendorf able to muscle it out to the neutral zone. And back on the puck is Mann. Evan Smutny, Colorado's first-round pick of the last year's draft, 5th overall, tries to squirm out of his own end. Stands up Wellenburn, but the Wranglers enter. Larson quickly to LaFrance. Burrowing his way down the left wing. Puck scoots over to the near side. And the Wranglers try and pinch to keep it in. Good effort, but Mann will escape. Tosses it up ahead looking for Bowden. Wranglers able to wedge it away. Evshinov up ahead, gets bottled up by Gurman. And we trade possession again. As on the left wing, Poirier gets stood up by Pipinen. And the Finnish defenseman will gain some steam. Over the red line, now Colorado blue. Pipinen from the right wing, tries to put it on goal, but as it ripped away from his grasp by Riles. Now it's a 2-on-1 the other way. Smith shoots, save Gerard! Quick developing play, Gerard was ready. Here comes Colorado again. Sinclair at the left circle, dangling to the goal line. Spins to the near corner. Looks to go back up top to Gurman, rips it to the goal. Ping pongs out in front, and Gerard stands up. Smith at the top of the blue paint. Rebound to Pipinen, he'll air it to the neutral zone. Glove down by Riles, Colorado back in. Puck spits down behind Gerard. Boulanger got a touch on it, but possession goes to Smith. Puck wobbles back to Boulanger. He'll work it to the right point. Peters holds it in. Off the wall to Roux. At the line, delays, feeds it to the left wing for Peters. From the circle, he shoots off a stick and wide of Gerard. And momentum will carry the puck all the way back down to the Grit zone. Furious action there. Clock continues to roll. 9 minutes gone by here in the second period. Still scoreless as Peters and Wellenburn collide in the neutral zone. That's why the crowd howls in approval. Meanwhile, Rasega surges through center ice. Down the right wing, moves to the back end. Doesn't shoot. Plays it up top to Wellenburn. From high to low, Rasega's got it back in the near corner. On his forehand, he'll shoot. A high riser just screeches wide. Rebound to Hedquist, long shot. The rebound to Rasega. Backhand, and he's robbed by Sterling. Unreal. You got to tip your cap to Peter Sterling. Back and forth and all the way across. Around the globe goes Sterling, and he robs Rasega on a juicy rebound. Incredible. And we stay tied in a scoreless game. As we approach the midway point here, 10:33 left in the second. On steps the Phillips line. Jake Thornton out there in place of Miller. As Saturdahl takes the face-off against Johnson. Colorado able to weasel away as Rakowski gets to the neutral zone and not much more. A big check from Phillips. Sends the puck to Boulanger. He pops it into the glove of Sterling. Play continues to roll. Boulanger now. Over to the left wing for Thornton. Quickly back the other way, out of the reach of Phillips. And onto the tape of Braden Junker, the former Janesville Jet. As looks like a Wrangler got high stick there behind the play. And we get a penalty for that as Phillips was high stick by Smutny. It looks like they're going to call interference on this. As Phillips is down in the far corner of the Colorado zone. Hopefully he's going to be all right as he gets back up to both feet. And looks like he'll work his way over to the Wrangler bench. And well behind the play, Smutny caught Phillips up high. And now Smutny will sit for the second time tonight, and the Wranglers will go to their third power play of the evening. The Wranglers did produce some good chances on the 5-on-3, but ultimately couldn't get it done. Now we'll see if the third time's the charm. As the face-off is to the right of Sterling. Larson will take it against West. He wins it to Rasega. At the left point is Pipinen. Across to Evgenev. He'll let it fly. Kicked away by Sterling. And Colorado pounds it through the neutral zone for a clear. To start this power play is Pipinen, Evgenev, Rasega, Larson, and Satterdalen. As Rasega grinds down the left wing and stops at the top of the circle. As Pipinen at the point, cross ice he goes to Evgenev. Down low in the corner, it's Larson. On the near side, works his way up, back to Pipinen. From high to low, Evgenev at the half wall, tries to fend off Riles. Tough battle there, but Evgenev squeaks free. Has Satterdalen moving down the wall. It's boxed up at the end wall. Wranglers keep the puck as Larson looks to pass it to Evgenev. He'll shoot. It's blocked. Rebound comes to the left wing. Rasega creeps down the wall, spins it back up top to Pipinen. At the left point, he'll let it fly. Kicked away by Sterling again. Wranglers had traffic in front. Pipinen again from the same spot. Cross ice to Evgenev. Over in the corner, it's Larson. Spins away from Gurman. On his backhand. Comes to the opposite corner. On his forehand now, looks to center. Instead has Satterdalen. He'll shoot high and wide. Held in. Only for a moment by Evgenev, but it did tumble out. Wranglers have to reset. Just 33 seconds left on the power play. Rakowski has it now. Short-handed, punched away by Hedquist. And a whistle blown for an offside. Colorado tried to catch the Wranglers napping on a line change. Tried to hit that stretch pass to Rakowski, but he was well offside by about a few feet. And that's why the clock stops with 27 seconds left on the Wrangler power play. And you know what? That's probably better that the clock stopped there for the Wranglers. That unit that started the power play was gassed. Gone in about a minute and 30 seconds of power play time in. Now it is Phillips, LaFrance, Olislov, Hedquist, and Wellburn to round out the power play. Colorado wins the neutral zone faceoff. They'll plug it down for another clear, and the Wranglers will have to start the latest rush from the deep end. 13 seconds left on the power play as Olislov maneuvers through the neutral zone. Angles it to the left wing for Hedquist. He'll shoot from there. Kick save. LaFrance on the rebound. Scores! It's a power play goal for Mark LaFrance, and the boys from the Texas Panhandle strike first. A critical goal for the Wranglers, and LaFrance comes up clutch on the power play again. It is his fourth power play goal of the season. That leads the team, and Amarillo is off and running. So with 8:08 left in the first period, France gets the scoring started. Wranglers cash in on the man advantage. And Amarillo now leads it 1-0. Hayden Hedquist gets the primary assist, taking the initial shot. As Colorado tries to get it back and tie the game, as Rue charges down the left wing on his forehand, goes around the net to the far side. Up top, shot by Smutney. Hits a couple of men out in front. Comes to Gerard, who freezes, hugging the left goalpost with 7:42 on the clock. Think about the shot count now. 24-15 in favor of Amarillo. You know what that means? The Wranglers have taken 17 shots here in the second period to Colorado's 4. Incredible. And the Wranglers are approaching a season high if they continue at this rate. We'll find out what that is, what that means when the Wranglers and the Grit come back to live action here in Greeley, Colorado. Wranglers lead at 1-0 with 7:42 left in the second. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
Down to Hooters, have a drink, catch the game, get yourself some awesome wings. It's the place to do your thing. You gotta get down to Hooters. Here she comes, a girl next door, hanging with good friends and more. Come on, what you waiting for? You gotta get down to Hooters. So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
Wranglers are buzzing here in the second period. Their third power play of the middle frame ends up striking gold as Mark LaFrance on a juicy rebound on a kick save from the left pad of Sterling pots it into the back of the net to make it a 1-0 Wrangler lead with the power play goal. Amarillo, with 17 shots so far here in the second period, is approaching a season high. Wranglers' most shots in a period is 21. They did that back in the second period of the 7-3 loss to the Mudbugs on November 1st at home. And the Wranglers keep this up. Plenty of time to break that season mark here in the second period. And the good news is that they finally have something to show for it. Face off to the left of Gerard. Powering towards the goal was Poirier. Wranglers able to shrug him off. On the far wall, Fortin hauls it in. Stretch pass to Phillips. Goes into his skates. Tries to feed it to Thornton, streaking upwards, but Wranglers forced to backpedal, and now Poirier rips it away on the right point, spinning. Turns it over to piping in as Phillips was defending. Loose puck on the near wall. Thornton trying to collect it for the Wranglers. Turning down the right wing is Sheldon Rue. Feeds it to the middle for Helgeson. He'll shoot. High riser, followed by Gerard, and the rebound hit Satterdahlin and went into the back of the net. And the Grit have tied it at 1. Well, Gerard really came out to challenge that puck, and he got it. Made the initial save, but on the rebound was out of position. Couldn't quite reel it in after juggling it, and ends up coming back, hitting the back of a sprawling Satterdahlin, and ends up in the back of the net. And I believe the goal is going to go to Helgeson, and Colorado has tied it at 1. So just a minute and 6 seconds after the Wranglers had scored to take the lead, Colorado responds to tie it at 1. And it is going to be Helgeson's goal. It is his 8th of the season and his 3rd in his all-time series career against Amarillo. Helgeson now up to 3 goals and 6 assists in 14 games against the Wranglers. The puck goes out of play with 6:54 left in the second period. So officially it's Helgeson from Mann and Rue that has tied the game at 1. It's a brand new game again. Colorado responds just a minute and 6 seconds after the Wranglers took the lead, and we're right back where we started at a tie. Face off here in the Colorado zone. Be to the left of Sterling. Wood will take it for the Wranglers. Run up against William Johnson. Face off won by Colorado. Junker will launch it to the neutral zone. Wanted Rakowski, instead got Boulanger. They'll shovel it back down to Junker. Ori now swerves through center ice. Down the left wing comes barreling into the slot. Closed in on by Wood. Dishes it to the right point. Smutney a shot into traffic. It's blocked by Boulanger, and he'll skate forward. Wranglers have numbers as Boulanger keeps it. On the left wing, centers to Azadi. He shoots. Save made by Sterling. Rebound held in by Lupo. And Colorado able to muscle it back out to center ice. And now here comes Johnson. Down the right wing, William Johnson steers it around to the near corner. From that corner, Wranglers able to pick it and slip it to the neutral zone with under 6 minutes left in the second. And now Smutney will wait behind his own net, get a lay of the land, and some of his guys get a line change in. And now Landon West will glide through the neutral zone. Along the left wing, on his forehand, takes a shot, goes around the net to the right point where it's held in by Peters. Flip the strip and send it back to the near corner. Grit look to center. Miller picks it off. Sends O'Donohue into action. O'Donohue back to Miller, and the pass was just a tad behind. Felt some pressure from Peters. Colorado now back in their own end as Helgeson, the goal scorer, turns it over to Evshivnev. Feeds it to the slot, just away from Miller as Helgeson got back to make a defensive play. Rebound comes to Evshivnev, centering, they score! It's O'Donohue! His first in the North American Hockey League, and the Wranglers lead it again. A pinball play comes to O'Donohue. He's in the right place at the right time, and Amarillo has it itself back in front. It's 2-1. Welcome to the show, Trevor O'Donohue. Wranglers' good effort on that play pays off, and they've got the lead back with 4:59 to go in the second period. Kirill Evshivnev gets the primary assist on the goal, and the Wranglers are back in front. Thornton sends it down low to Phillips. On the right wing, Colorado looks to center. Poirier reels it in on the right circle. At the line, it's kicked away, and Wendorf goes up ahead. On the left wing, Carson Wendorf slows down in the corner, looks for some help, he's got it. Thornton over to Wendorf, top of the left circle. Satterdahlin able to help out, stashes it down low to Phillips, below the goal line. He looks to center, Satterdahlin, a drive, stopped by Sterling. The rebound is collected by the Grit netminder, and he freezes with 4:15 left in the period. Somebody get that puck that O'Donohue scored with to George Escamilla, Wranglers equipment manager. They want to hold on to that one. His first in the show. It's given the Wranglers a 2-1 lead, as the faceoff now is to the right of Sterling. Wranglers win it, and they have been buzzing over these last couple of shifts, leading up to the goal from O'Donohue, and quickly thereafter. Colorado trying to escape, flings it to the neutral zone. Ori, drop pass to Johnson, and he will rip it into the attacking zone, and it's all for naught. Grit are offside. 4 minutes left in the second period. Neutral zone face-off. Larson will take it against Johnson. LaFrance has it off the face-off. He'll toss the puck deep into Colorado territory. Players collide in the near corner as Olislov took a spill with Smutny. LaFrance keeps the play alive, links it back down to that corner. Olislov there, centers, LaFrance, a bomb, in and out of the glove of Sterling. Puck was loose between the circles, and the Grit were able to muscle it to the line. Wranglers keep it in, Olislov fires into the glove of Sterling, and he will hold with 3:30 left in the second. Wranglers have now tied that season high of shots in the period, 21, and we still got plenty of time to go here in the middle frame. And Amarillo has been surging as of late. They break the 3-game second period scoreless drought as they double dip here in period 2. First, getting the Wranglers on the board was Mark LaFrance on the power play, and then the latest 5-on-5 is Trevor O'Donohue. And it looks like the Wranglers are going to the power play here, as Luca Ori has found himself in the penalty box. And now it looks like Ori coming out of it, as there's a discussion going on at the scorer's table. Let's see here. Interesting development. I believe there is a penalty coming, but the question is as to whom. And looks like no penalty. 5 Grit skaters out there, 5 Wranglers out there. Looks like Ori actually did have a pretty good lawyer. He gets out of whatever trouble he was in, and we stay 5-on-5. Face off to the right of Sterling. 3:30 to go in the second period. Make sure you stick with us for the second intermission report presented by Amarillo National Bank. We'll talk about the first 2 periods of play, what the Wranglers need to do in the third period to come out of Greeley with a victory. Let's take a peek at what the Jackalopes and the Ice Rays are up to. Colorado squirms out the center. They'll hack it off the end wall to Gerard as he freezes. And we get a convergence in front of his crease. Face-off will be on the far circle as Gerard gets a sip of water. Noah Wood will take this face-off for the Wranglers, as Wood has 3 goals and 2 assists in his last 9 entering tonight. Rolnick will step in for West on the face-off. West grinds his way to the goal. Gerard punches it away, as there are a couple of Grit skaters on the doorstep moving with West. Arcega tries to take flight through the neutral zone, but Colorado shuts it down. Hopping puck goes in front of the Wranglers bench, and the Grit will whip it down to Gerard from there. Boulanger, outlets up ahead. He wanted Arcega. Went wide. No icing as they catch up to it in the near corner, and the fans are up in arms as the Grit now ice the puck. And sometimes the crowd might just does the talking. I mean, for what it's worth, I like the play. I thought it was fine. But the home crowd in disapproval. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. We go to the right of Sterling for the latest face-off. Evshunev will take it for the Wranglers. And it looks like now Jacob Miller on that line alongside Evshunev, and O'Donohue back out there, the goal scorer on the left wing. And O'Donohue crashes the dot, trying to get a piece of the puck, but Colorado lifts it to the neutral zone. O'Donohue gets it, takes a check from Gurman, trying to go right back in. Gets on his feet and does just that. O'Donohue delays to the middle for Pipinen, and his shot goes high and wide. And now Colorado draws a penalty, 2-on-1 the other way, as Noble shoots out of play, but the Grit are going to the man advantage. And he's getting chippy again as after the whistle, Evshunev and Gurman exchange some words. And the Grit will now get their third power play chance of the night, as it'll be a tripping call to O'Donohue. So you get your first goal in the league, now you get your first 2 penalty minutes in the league. Just an assist needed for O'Donohue, and he's got the trifecta. Although I've really liked his play so far here tonight. He's been hustling really hard. Unfortunately, it's a little too hard on that last play. Tripping is the call. And Colorado looks to break free against this Wrangler penalty kill that has started 2 for 2 to start the night. Off the ensuing face-off, Hedquist peels it away and tries to chuck it down, but he lost the puck. Grit center, bouncing puck comes to Gerard, and he's able to freeze. Afterwards, Mann and Phillips are all wrapped up. Sabatino, the linesman, will get in there and break that up. And we'll get a face-off to the right of Gerard. Rakowski will take it. Phillips will win it. Wellburn tried to bang it out, and puck stays in. It's in my blind spot on the near wall. Smutny has Poirier. Tried to churn between the circles. Ping pong back to Smutny. Put it on goal. Gerard fends it off. It goes under his backside, and he gets the whistle. Now a Grit skater falls on top of Gerard as the whistle blows with 1:49 left in the period, and Gerard takes offense Tries to shove Smutney and some others out of his crease. I hope Gerard's going to be all right. Good to see him on his feet. As Gerard sprawled out like a starfish, similar to what we saw Sterling do earlier in the game. As the puck rolled under his legs, got the whistle, and then tried to rise up, and I think it was Smutney that fell on top of him. 1:33 left on the Colorado power play, and see what we have here. O'Donohue still in the box. See if anybody joins him, and looks like Welburn is getting an escort to the box. Not the kind of escort you want, and so could be the third instance tonight that we'll see a 5-on-3 power play on either side, and looks like it'll be offsetting, as it looks like Lucas Mann will also take a seat. So the penalties to Welburn and Mann will offset. I assume roughing is the call on both of those. Didn't get an official signal there, and the faceoff will come out to the neutral zone, and it remains just a 5-on-4 Colorado power play. So the Wranglers catch a break there, although they are without Welburn, one of their top penalty killers. Neutral zone faceoff won by Colorado from center circle. Braden Junker will survey the scene and relay it to Johnson on the near wall. He'll take a step back, return it to Junker, and Colorado being very cautious here. And now motoring ahead is Ori. Gone are the cautious days, as Ori wriggles his way to the end wall. Working with Helgeson, Colorado keeps the puck. Boulanger trying to plunder it away, and he does it between the circles. Puck is available, and the Wranglers trying to swipe it out, and Satterdahlin will do just that. Dangerous play as Gerard to come out to the top of the blue paint. And now Miller has it shorthanded through the neutral zone. Fire a shot wide of Sterling. 1:01 left in the second period. Edquist has it over the red line. Puck is flagged down by Grolnick. It eventually is chucked over to the far corner of the Grit zone with 45 seconds left in the period. Johnson over the attacking line. Floats it over to the far corner. Grit looking to set up shop out of the reach of Grolnick on the high to low pass. Edquist swerves away from the pressure and deals it back out to the neutral zone. Junker over the attacking line. Down the left wing, takes a shot high and over the head of Gerard. Puck bounces over to the right point, quick exchange. German to Rakowski, back the other way for Noble. He'll shoot it into the glove of Gerard. He snags it with 10.7 left in the period. Again, it's been one of those nights where Gerard can see it. He's going to stop it. The only goal that beat him was a pinball shot that he did initially stop. Rebound went off a sprawling Satterdahlin into the back of the net. Smutney has it off the faceoff. Tries to put it on goal. It's blocked. Rasega has a chance. Moving with Azadi. 3 seconds to go. Winds, fires. It's blocked. And the second period comes to a conclusion. Well. Second period had no shortage of action. We'll talk all about it on the other side of the break. We'll also take a peek at the out-of-town scoreboard and what's going on in Odessa. And we'll also preview the third period coming up here in Greeley, Colorado, as the Wranglers look to stay alive with a regulation win here in Greeley. All that coming up next on the second intermission report presented by Amarillo National Bank through 2 periods of play here in Greeley. It's Amarillo 2 and Colorado 1. We're back in just a moment on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
Down to Hooters, have a drink, catch the game, get yourself some awesome wings. It's the place to do your thing. You gotta get down to Hooters. Here she comes, a girl next door, hanging with good friends and more. Come on, what you waiting for? You gotta get down. and get on down to Hooters.
Work. It means getting up early and getting on the road. It takes commitment, perseverance, and grit. You always get the job done. That's why at UniFirst, we provide the uniforms and services you need to work harder, smarter, and safer. We always deliver. Because you always deliver.
Your ordinary jobs deserve extraordinary quality. Skip the big box and save with Flex Tech and Austin Hose. With crush-resistant fittings and superior resistance to abrasion, weather, ozone, and oil, Flex Tech water hoses provide outstanding strength at a value that washes the competition away. And be sure to make those ordinary jobs that much easier with our vast selection of quick connect fittings. And now, take simplicity one step further with the Dixon Constant Flow Nozzle. Simply twist the nozzle head to adjust from a wide to long spray pattern to tackle any job. And it's internally sealed for easy installation, leak-free handling, and true water shutoff. Rated up to 300 PSI, FlexTech air hoses provide the durability and cost efficiency of PVC with a look and feel that simulates the flexibility of a traditional rubber hose. Pair your FlexTech air hose with the Milton blow gun, and even your toughest jobs are an absolute breeze. So when you're tired of the ordinary, put FlexTech to the test. Call Austin Hose today.
When you know where you're going, you do what it takes to move forward. For me, that means money in the bank, saving cash. So this is my ride, my granddad's old truck.
Saving is cool again, especially with fantastic rates and free checking at A&B.
Thanks, Pop Pop.
No, it's it's me, the A&B guy. Amarillo National Bank. Amarillo before bank.
We want to help you thrive no matter what stage of life you're in. Your prescription for well-being starts at United Supermarkets, where your neighborhood pharmacists are here to give you the care you need when you need it. From expert consultation to personalized care and all your wellness essentials, and giving you your best shot at prevention with immunizations, we understand that every step towards health is a step towards happiness. So whether you're picking up or we're dropping off, we're here for you.
AMA Techtel is just first rate. We had a flood here last year. We don't have any internet, we don't have any phones, we have nothing. By the time I got from my house to downtown, AMA Techtel already had a crew of men there. I can't imagine doing business without AMA Techtel. They're that important.
This high-stakes game here in Colorado has not disappointed in the slightest. Wranglers have the lead 2-1 through 40 minutes of play as Guy Chiarenza welcomes you into the second intermission report presented by Amarillo National Bank. And first period ended up being scoreless. Had 2 penalties called in the first, both against the Wranglers. Amarillo goes to the 5-on-3 penalty kill and gets the job done. As Amarillo's penalty kill continues to surge, ultimately leading to a first period that ended up being scoreless. Colorado outshot Amarillo 11-7 through 1 period of play. To the second period we went, and the first intermission, I speculated that we could see a higher shot count on both sides in the second period compared to the first. Guess who was right? I was, and by a very wide margin. Wranglers tie a season high for shots on goal in the second period. They take 21 shots on goal in the middle frame, and they get 2 goals out of it. Colorado takes 13 shots on goal. Amarillo leads the shot count 28-24 here in the second intermission. As getting the scoring started on the power play was Mark LaFrance. 8:08 with 8:08 left in the second period. LaFrance is able to put in a rebound off of an initial shot by Hayden Hedquist for the power play score. Wranglers are 1 for 3 on the power play in tonight's game. After they started the second period with a 5-on-3 power play opportunity, were unable to convert some really good things. And on their third chance, they hit gold as LaFrance able to pot that juicy rebound to make it a 1-0 Wrangler lead. But that did not last for long, as just 1:06 after the score from LaFrance, Luke Helgeson gets a bit of a wonky goal to go his way, and the Grit tied it at 1 7:02 left in the period as Helgeson skates down the left wing, takes a shot on Girard, hits him up kind of high between the chin and the logo, kind of pops up into the air. Girard tries to juggle it. Puck is punched out to the slot, and unfortunately it hits a sprawling Cole Satterdahl, who was diving, trying to break up a 2-on-1. Hits him and ends up in the back of the net, so nothing Girard could have done there, and he did make the initial save, so he tried his best, but sometimes puck luck just does not go your way. And Colorado ties the game off of Luke Helgeson's 8th goal of the season from Lucas Mann and Sheldon Rue to make it a 1-1 hockey game. Wranglers continue to fight back, though, after that, and it really felt like ever since the Helgeson goal, Amarillo was surging. They were just buzzing around in the Colorado zone. They rack up the shot counts, and finally the levee breaks. 4:59 left in the period. Trevor O'Donohue, his first goal in his first game, comes off of a shot from Kirill Evshunev. He grabs the rebound in the slot and rips it home for the score to make it 2-1 Amarillo. And that's where we stand through 40 minutes of play. Colorado did get a chance on the power play late in the period. Wranglers able to kill that off. Amarillo is 1 for 3 on the power play and 3 for 3 on the penalty kill here tonight, as they have won the special teams battle here in the foothills of the Rockies. And so things are looking very good for the Wranglers right now, but at the end of the day, the margin is just one. It takes one shot for Colorado to tie this game. It also takes one shot for Amarillo to take a 2-goal lead. And so this next goal here tonight, if we see another one, is going to be critical. The Wranglers, with a healthy second period, scoring 2 goals, snap a 3-game scoreless drought in the second period. Look for a bigger third period as the Wranglers look to snap a 5-game third period scoring drought, as Amarillo has 2 on the board. Girard's playing lights out. He's playing like some kind of magician back there, and with the way he's been playing, 2 goals might be enough for the Wranglers to win this game, but you don't want to take your chances. We'll see if Amarillo can add some more to the count here in the third, as again the Wranglers were buzzing in the second half of the second period, allowing them to put a lot of shots on goal. And again, that ties a season high that was set back in November 1st in a 7-3 loss to the Mudbugs, and coincidentally it also happened the second period of that game. So second period seems to be the Wranglers' period. They seem to be buzzing all sorts of action here in the middle frame, and ultimately the Wranglers come out with a 1-goal lead because of it. I really like the way that the new guys in the lineup have played. Jake Thornton playing in his 3rd game in the North American Hockey League here tonight, or excuse me, his 2nd game in the North American Hockey League here tonight, and he's looked very, very good. Obviously, O'Donohue with the goal. He's been buzzing for Amarillo. I've really liked his style of play. Doesn't quit on plays. Very tough, very speedy, in fact. Seems to be in the right place at the right time. I like his hockey IQ. Just 17 years old. Watch out for Trevor O'Donohue here over the next couple of years in the Panhandle. And Carson Wendorf has really done a good job of keeping things strong and steady on the back end for the Wranglers. It's his North American Hockey League debut tonight as well, alongside O'Donohue. And I think that he's played really well considering the circumstances, as Wranglers are without J.S. Pack this weekend. Wendorf slides into that top D pairing with Pipinen. Looks like he's really settled in quite nicely. In fact, the Wranglers here tonight are dressing only 4 natural defensemen, as Whited and White are out. Lupo and Boulanger are playing on the blue line. I have to say, they've been holding down the fort on the blue line for the Wranglers. I like what I've seen from Lupo and Boulanger. And as a result, the Wranglers only have 1 goal against through 40 minutes of play. And we get a high-stakes third period coming up here in Greeley. We'll talk a little bit more about that on the other side of the break. We'll also talk about a score that has gone final at Ector County Coliseum between the Jackalopes and the Ice Rays, and how that impacts the Wranglers' quest for the playoffs. All that coming up on the other side of the break, as this is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. It's the Wranglers 2 and the Grit 1 through 40 minutes of play.
Down to Hooters, have a drink, catch the game, get yourself some awesome wings. It's the place to do your thing. You gotta get down to Hooters. Here she comes, a girl next door, hanging with good friends and more. Come on, what you waiting for? You gotta get down to Hooters. So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
Work. It means getting up early and getting on the road. It takes commitment, perseverance, and grit. You always get the job done. That's why at UniFirst, we we provide the uniforms and services you need to work harder, smarter, and safer. We always deliver. Because you always deliver.
Your ordinary jobs deserve extraordinary quality. Skip the big box and save with Flex Tech and Austin Hose. With crush-resistant fittings and superior resistance to abrasion, weather, ozone, and oil, Flex Tech water hoses provide outstanding strength at a value that washes the competition away. And be sure to make those ordinary jobs that much easier with our vast selection of quick connect fittings. And now, take simplicity one step further with the Dixon Constant Flow Nozzle. Simply twist the nozzle head to adjust from a wide to long spray pattern to tackle any job. And it's internally sealed for easy installation, leak-free handling, and true water shutoff. Rated up to 300 PSI, FlexTech air hoses provide the durability and cost efficiency of PVC with a look and feel that simulates the flexibility of a traditional rubber hose. Pair your FlexTech air hose with the Milton blow gun, and even your toughest jobs are an absolute breeze. So when you're tired of the ordinary, put FlexTech to the test. Call Austin Hose today.
When you know where you're going, you do what it takes to move forward. For me, that means money in the bank, saving cash. So this is my ride, my granddad's old truck.
Saving is cool again, especially with fantastic rates and free checking at A&B.
Thanks, Pop Pop.
No, it's it's me, the A&B guy. Amarillo National Bank. Amarillo before bank.
We want to help you thrive no matter what stage of life you're in. Your prescription for well-being starts at United Supermarkets, where your neighborhood pharmacists are here to give you the care you need when you need it. From expert consultation to personalized care and all your wellness essentials, and giving you your best shot at prevention with immunizations, we understand that every step towards health is a step towards happiness. So whether you're picking up or we're dropping off, we're here for you.
AMA Techtel is just first rate. We had a flood here last year. We don't have any internet, we don't have any phones, we have nothing. By the time I got from my house to downtown, AMA Techtel already had a crew of men there. I can't imagine doing business without AMA Techtel. They're that important.
We're closing in on third period action here between the Wranglers and the Grit at Greeley Ice House. I'm Guy Chiarenza, welcoming you back to the second intermission report, where the Wranglers have the lead 2-1 through 2 periods of play. Got some bad news in terms of the out-of-town scoreboard, and I don't like bad news, but unfortunately, news is news, and the news around the neighborhood is that the Odessa Jackalopes have taken down the Corpus Christi Icers by the final score of 7-4. For whatever reason this season, the Jackalopes on Friday nights have just run up the score, and they've done it again. 7-4 the final. Jack L'Esperance gets the hat trick for Odessa, and now the Jackalopes are tied with Colorado for the final spot in the South, and I believe Colorado owns that tiebreaker, so for the moment, both of these two teams are outside of the playoff picture, and now it will be the Jacks that are in. And so for the Wranglers, makes tonight even more important for them to try and keep pace with Odessa and Colorado. And for the Grit, obviously, you want to try and get that spot back, so they need this game just as much as the Wranglers do. Other scores from around the division. At El Paso County Event Center, the New Mexico Ice Wolves have taken a 4-1 lead about 3.5 minutes into the third period. New Mexico with goals from Johnny Johansson, Ethan Hull, Niam Pai, and Stanley Hubbard have them in front by 3 as the lone Rhino goal was scored by Jacob Solano. And over in OKC, with a loss, they are eliminated. Lone Star Brahmas square up against the Oklahoma Warriors, and Lone Star puts the nail in the coffin in the Warriors season. Brahmas win it 3-2 the final, and Oklahoma is now just playing for the love of the game as the Warriors have been eliminated mathematically from the Robertson Cup playoffs. Owen Kerr gets 2 goals, Saxton Test the third, and the Brahmas are back on track as the Wranglers took them down on Sunday afternoon 2-1 in overtime. So that is the lowdown around the division. For all the rest of the scores around the North American Hockey League, you can take a look at the league website, nahl.com, or download the mobile app and check it out for yourself anywhere, anytime. Back here at Greeley Ice House, got a big third period on deck. I've really liked the way the Wranglers have played defensively in this game, and I think a lot of people looking into this game would probably say that there are a lot of question marks for the Wranglers defensively coming into tonight, especially with two natural forwards playing on the blue line. But, with the way the Wranglers have been playing on the penalty kill, defensively in that weekend series against Lone Star, the way the two goaltenders were playing, Gerard and Shepboyster, am I really surprised that the Wranglers only have one goal against through 2 periods of play? Not really. I think this Wranglers team has really turned the corner defensively at this stage in the season. And now the question mark is, can the Wranglers continue to start to score goals? You got 2 on the board here tonight. That's a good figure for the Wranglers considering the way the last couple of games have gone. It really feels like a third is imperative for the Wranglers here tonight. I think you can win this game with your defense and your goaltending, but that's not a chance you want to take. You always want to try and give yourself a little bit of wiggle room, and so the next goal in this game is going to be huge. And I think the Wranglers need to continue to play the way they did in about the final 7 minutes or so in the third period, because they were just buzzing. They were suffocating Colorado in their own zone. They were getting shots on goal, tied a season high for shots in a period. I like what the Wranglers were able to do there in the bottom half of the second period. Got to bring that energy here to the third. It's going to be tough, all right? You got to play a full 60-minute game. It's going to be tough. But if the Wranglers are able to outwork the Grit here in the third period, I think it's going to come down to whoever wants it more. Whoever wants this game more is going to win it. That's just the way it feels to me. And it felt like in the second period, the Wranglers wanted it more, and that's why they're on top. So we'll see if they can continue that in the third period. If they can, I think they skate out of here with a victory. But Colorado's not going to make it easy on them. They're going to try and do that run-and-gun style of hockey, use their speed to their advantage. Wranglers need to keep things to the perimeter and keep playing a tight game on their own blue line to make sure that this game doesn't go astray. Charles-Antoine Girard has been sensational. What more can you say about him? Chuck has been lights out for the Wranglers over his last handful of starts. He'll look to close this one out, look for his third victory of the season. Meanwhile, Colorado now finds himself outside of the playoff picture because of Odessa's victory. Both teams need this game just as bad as the other. Sets the stage for an exciting finish here from Greeley Ice House. Wranglers need this game in regulation. That is one of the keys to the weekend, as Wranglers can't surrender points to Colorado here, so they have to find a way to take care of business here in the third period and fend off the Grit. With a loss, an overtime loss, or an overtime victory, doesn't matter. The Wranglers cannot be mathematically eliminated from the postseason here tonight, but should they fall, the situation would become dire, which means that this is going to be the biggest period for the Wranglers so far this season. Both squads are back out there. Wranglers wearing white jerseys with blue numbers and professional red trim will skate from right to left. Colorado with black jerseys and gold numbers and regular red trim will skate from left to right as Sabatino drops the puck, and the third period is underway from Greeley, Colorado. Wranglers have a 2-1 lead. Got to get something going here as Ori trickles down the right wing and serves it below the goal line. Boulanger on his forehand. Locates Hedquist, reels it back in on the return pass, and has LaFrance down the wing. Has Larson into action, right down the middle, loses a touch on the puck as it floats over to the far wall. Colorado bombards it into their own bench, and we get a stoppage 31 seconds in. Face-off will be to the left of Sterling. Phillips will take it. And the Grit will elevate it to the neutral zone. Gaspard to Poirier on the move. Drop pass to Roux. He shoots. Sticked away by Girard. Up and out of play. Faceoff will be to his right. Satterdahl will take it for the Wranglers. Faceoff is won by Amarillo. Lupo jams it out the center thanks to help from Thornton. Helgeson will retrieve it from his own end. He'll slap it up ahead. Goes to the skate of Satterdahlin. Can't keep it in as he was wedged off the puck by Helgeson and Poirier. And now it's a turnover. Shot score, Rue! And Colorado's tied it in the opening minute of the third. It's a turnover between the circles. And Sheldon Rue is there to pounce on it. Goes far corner on Girard. And it is now a brand new game with 1 minute gone by in the third. Sheldon Rue, the steal and score. It's a 2-2 hockey game. And looks like both head coaches, Wojtek and Holmstrom, getting an explanation here from the officiating crew, but it is going to stand. As Sheldon Rue's 9th goal of the season has tied us in a high-stakes game. Grolnick powers to the slot. Shot, score! Landon West! And now Colorado has the lead. 3-2 Grit. 1:15 into the third. Wranglers need to rally back quick. You might have to consider calling a timeout here, like in basketball, to stop a run. That's 2 goals for the Grit in 15 seconds. They go from down 2-1 to take a 3-2 lead. Dare I say it, sloppy play from the Wranglers to start the third has cost them the lead, and now they play from behind for the first time tonight. Oleslav from center circle, pitches it to the far corner. LaFrance will give chase. As the Wranglers try and tango for the puck from there. Colorado able to strip it away. Sinclair, the former Wrangler, tips it out the center, and hitting the deck was Riles, courtesy of Wendorf. That's going to draw a penalty. As Pipinen touches up, and now the Grit, who have scored 2 goals in 15 seconds, now go to the power play. As Wendorf will go for cross-checking. So now the Wranglers penalty kill back out there for the 4th time tonight. They need to go 4 for 4 to keep this a 1-goal game. Face off to the right of Girard. Wranglers win it. Boulanger tips it to the line. It's kicked in by Helgeson. His skate keeps it alive. They'll grind their way to the near corner. Bundle of bodies come together, and they're still going for it. It's a congregation in the near corner of the Wrangler zone, but time continues to drain. Almost 30 seconds have gone by. They're still scrumming for it, and now it's wedged away by Johnson. Up high, Junker lets it fly off a stick and wide of the goal. Junker gets it back at the left point, has a man open on the left circle. They play it down low to the slot, rebound, Helgeson. Girard makes the save from right to left. He snags it and keeps it a 1-goal game. A monster save from Charles-Antoine Girard. Keeps it a 1-goal contest. Face off to his left. Satterdahlin will take it against Poirier, and we get a false start here. think they're going to toss out Poirier. They're cheating on it a little bit, and they will. So Rakowski will step in. And Satterdahl swipes it to the corner. Up high it goes to Gurman. Gets his way into the half wall. Goes cross ice. Man holds, shoots. Gerard gobbles it up. He freezes with 59 seconds left on the penalty to Wendorf. Again, Satterdahl will take the face-off. This time to the right of Gerard. Rakowski wins it. A drive from the line. Snapped up by Gerard as he denies Gurman on the long-range shot. And he will freeze again with 56 seconds left on the Grit power play. So this game started off just seemingly at light speed. The Grit scored 2 goals in 15 seconds to take the lead. Now they're on the power play. Wranglers trying to kill it off as Gurman can't keep it in the zone, and the Wranglers catch a break. Man, wing to wing. To Smutny off his stick, can't enter the zone. Forced to play back. 37 seconds left on the power play as man comes crashing in. Bodied away by Welburn. Hedquist tries to free the puck from the zone. Satterdahl an extra oomph, and he gets it out for the clear. Now Rakowski grabs it and turns up on the right wing. Hedquist boxes him out. Boulanger with the puck. He fires it down, and the Wranglers get another clear. 10 seconds left on the penalty. Grit going for one last try as Noble gains the red line. Off the wall has West in the near corner, the most recent goal scorer. Centering feed goes out of the zone, and we're back to even strength. Wranglers are 3 for 3 on the penalty kill tonight. Piping in as Wood up ahead. Puck out to center, and now back down to Gerard. Landon West with the most recent goal in the game has given Colorado their first lead of the night, and West now has 6 goals and 6 assists in 17 games against the Wranglers, as Amarillo is offside on the latest sequence. .416 gone by here in the third. On is the Olislov, Larson, and LaFrance line. Mark LaFrance with the first goal of the night. Colorado wins neutral zone draw. It's Pavlovich to Sinclair. Had trouble gathering that puck, but is able to spin away from Olislov, his former teammate, and turns it over to Larson. Has Olislov in the far corner. On his backhand, looks to center, has LaFrance on the wraparound, and the puck stays out. Olislov has it on the right circle. Has it stripped away, and the Grit move up ice. With separation is Smith, delays to Bowden, and his shot is stopped by Gerard. Now it's LaFrance going upwards. Cross ice to Larson. He'll shoot, steered away by Sterling to the near corner. Puck will escape the zone, and Lupo will have to go back to retrieve it, but it will end up being an icing just 2 seconds under 5 minutes gone by. I do apologize. Things in that near corner of the Colorado zone are tough for me to see. It's my blind spot. As blocking that spot is the camera that you on NATV are seeing out of, so sacrifices are made. Satterdahl will take the face-off against Smith to the right of Sterling. Phillips on the face-off, rips it on goal. The rebound between the circles, and Satterdahl could not corral it. And the Grit will bang it out of the zone. No icing. Wranglers heave it up ahead. Sterling out to play it. Oncoming pressure from Thornton forces the Grit to the outside. On the left wing, Ori takes flight on the right side. And the Grit are offside on the zone entry. And so we will pause to the dismay of the crowd. Neutral zone face-off. Evshinev will take it against Johnson. Neutral zone face-off, piping in with it. D to D to Welburn. Up ahead is Evshinev. Off the wall, hit the skate of the linesman, but he keeps it. Down below the goal line, looks to center. Puck goes up into the air. Can they simmer it down? In the near corner they can. As Miller plays it up top to piping in. Long-range shot over the glove of Sterling. Miller tries to reel it in down low. Over in the near corner. Evades the pressure, chops it back to the far wall. O'Donohue in pursuit. Grit are able to elevate it to the neutral zone, and we get a whistle here with 14:07 left in the final frame. Larson will take the faceoff on the far circle against Poirier. He wins it, but man is able to weasel in there and get the puck to Rue. On the right wing, forced to the outside by Hedquist. Now it's Boulanger, loading up ahead to Oleslav. He'll charge upwards on the outside. Stops on the far corner, has the trailer. Welburn lets it fly. Sticked away by Sterling. Up and out of play with 13:44 to go. Wranglers get a line change in. On comes the Wood, Resega, and Azadi line. Looks like the Wranglers are shuffling around their defensemen. Now we see piping in with Welburn here. And off the face-off. It ping-pongs to the slot, but Rue is able to free it from the zone. He'll sky it to the left wing for Mann. He turns and rips it off the end wall, piping in there for the Wranglers. They'll feed it to the right wing for Welburn. Tries to smash it out of the zone to Azadi. Extra tip gets it to the Colorado back end. Gurman tries to go from 0 to 100, gets swarmed at the red line. And the Grit will flutter it to the near corner, onto the stick of Pipinen. On the forecheck is Poirier, but Pipinen able to hold firm, and he will start the charge for the Wranglers. Taking his time. Gets it back to Welburn. Takes in the return pass. It goes right down the middle. Rushes it to the right wing for Resega. And moves into action. Feeds it to the left wing. Azadi's got it at the half wall. Has a trailer. Satterdahl tries to dangle, but puck flubbed off of his stick, and the Grit take advantage. Satterdahl gets in front of a pass to stop the Grit on their first attempt. Second attempt is bottled up at the blue line, and Phillips will churn up ahead. Plunges down the middle. Helgeson steals the puck away from him, and so now it's Lupo and Boulanger back in the neutral zone. Boulanger projects it to the near corner. Thornton on the forecheck working with Phillips. Colorado once again trying to get out of their own end. Phillips hard on the forecheck. Satterdahl with it at the left point is quickly swarmed by Helgeson and West, and now he hits the deck. Puck is slapped to the near circle. Peters will zip it out of the zone. No icing as Boulanger is the first one on it. 8 minutes gone by here in the period. Satterdahl over the blue line, looks to go cross ice. Defensive stick gets it away from Phillips. And now here comes Smith on the left wing, looks to center. Blocked by Welburn. Good defensive play. Bowden returns it to Smith. Centers for Riles. He shoots, and Gerard is able to snag it and absorb it with 11:45 left on the clock. Charles-Antoine Gerard making a huge save there. Think back to that stop he made on the Colorado power play to keep it 3-2. Remember that if the Wranglers are able to come back. It's Grolnick to take it against Evshinev on the near circle. The Wrangler the victor. And now Welburn will try and hurdle it out of his own zone. Colorado making it difficult on the near wall. Riles centers to Bowden, and he's shut down by Gerard. Second attempt, and Gerard's got that as well. With the right pad, he flings it out and denies Bowden a second time. Now here's Ezenev going up ahead over the attacking line, and not much more. Colorado catapults it back to the Wranglers zone. That'll go for an icing with 11:15 to go. So a lot of stop and go action here in the third period ever since Colorado took the lead. Let's see how aggressive the Wranglers will become here down the stretch as the Larson line is back out there on the near circle of the Colorado zone. Off the face-off, puck pinballs to Larson, slaps it up to LaFrance. Cross-ice, Boulanger holds and shoots and scores! Jake Boulanger from long distance has tied it at 3. Back and forth we go, and the Wranglers have tied it. Boulanger took the initial shot. We'll see who gets credited with the goal, but talking to Jake before the game, when he found out he was going to play D, briefly got a chance to talk to him, and he said, yeah, it's played that position before. And he looked at my spotting board, which is what a broadcaster puts together before a game to prepare for it, all the notes and such, and he noticed the notes that I wrote down for him. Said, wait a minute, I'm taking 14 shots over my last 8 games? And I said, yeah, you've been really ripping the puck here lately. And he says, you know what? I think I got a couple more in me tonight. I'm going to let it fly. Well, that one comes up huge for the Wranglers, and it has tied the game at 3. And it does go to Boulanger. And he gets his 5th goal of the season. All tied up now, Grit working deep. Ori over to the near corner, shadowed by Boulanger. Again, remember, he's playing defense tonight. Directing traffic now as Pipinen has a man pit up at the end wall. Larson picks it free. Crowd howling for a penalty. They're not going to get it as the puck escapes the zone on the far side. And now it's a offside on the Grit with 10:25 to go in the third. And there's a bit of a conversation going on in front of the Wranglers bench, but all in all, it'll be a line change for the Wranglers as on comes the Izzotti, Rasega, and Wood line. Well, at the end of the day, we're not quite sure what the outcome of this game is going to be, but what we can say for sure is it's definitely been entertaining. Colorado whacks it into the Wranglers zone. It's fielded by Hedquist between the circles. He uncorks it to the red line where it goes off a stick to Lucas Mann on the near wall, with Izzotti nipping at his heels. Poirier tries to grind through center ice. Wranglers had it covered. Now Rasega starts things. Swerves his way through the neutral zone. He's able to fly down to the end wall. On his backhand, chops it to Izzotti. On his backhand, looks to center, and Noah Wood got mobbed. Could he get a piece of that puck? Now it's a 3-on-2 the other way. Peters along the left wing stumbles and centers. Goes off a stick and wide to Gerard. Rasega has it now, going back up ice. Has Izzotti on the move. Toe drag shot, blockered away by Sterling. Rebound kept alive. Only for a moment, though, as the Grit squirm back out to center. Satterdahl drives right back in. Gets dragged down. No call here as Colorado tries to escape the zone with the puck. They're able to do it as Grolnick comes crashing down the right wing. Stops on a dime, looks for a trailer, picked away by Satterdahl, but the rebound comes to rest. Smartly a shot from the line, shouldered away by Gerard. Out of play with 9:06 left in the third period. Shot count reads 33 apiece. It's been that kind of night. And it looks like that'll send us to a timeout. We'll find out how this one ends together. It's Amarillo 3, Colorado 3. High drama here in the plains of Colorado on the foothills of the Rockies. We're back in just a moment here on NATV and YouTube.
AMA Techtail is just first rate. We had a flood here last year. We don't have any internet, we don't have any phones, we have nothing. By the time I got from my house to downtown, AMA Techtail already had a crew of men there. I can't imagine doing business without AMA Techtail. They're that important.
Y'all, I finished the cereal yesterday, and today the box is full again. Same with the milk. Yesterday this was basically empty, and today it's full again too.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's wild.
Must be magic.
No lines, no waiting. Just quick and convenient grocery shopping. It's not magic, it's delivery from United Supermarkets.
Mark LaFrance opened the scoring a little over the midway point of the second period on the power play. Colorado responded a minute and 6 seconds later to tie it at 1. And the Wranglers got the lead back with a goal from Trevor O'Donohue, his first in the league. Grit scored twice in the first minute and 15 seconds of the third to take a 3-2 lead. And now Jake Boulanger's 5th of the year has tied us at 3 here in the third. Guy Chiarenza here from Greeley Ice House as the Wranglers are forced out of the attacking zone with 8:43 left in the third. Looking for grabs at the red line, hauled in by Smutny. He'll wiggle down the right wing and not much more. Oleslov tries to twist it up to LaFrance. Would have been one-on-one the other way, but just out of his reach. Pass offline, and now Colorado will start their next rush. It's Sinclair on the right wing, pivoting at the point and serving it down low. Wanted Johnson, instead got a whole bunch of Boulanger and Wood. Puck goes down to the goal line, and Hedquist tries to volley it up to Resega. Quick touch pass, and Wood's on the move. Down the left wing, tips it off the wall. Battles against Gurman. Now in the near corner. Puck comes behind the net to Sinclair. And now he has Gurman open on the left wing. Up ahead, reeling in the pass is Johnson. Drops it off for Ori. Fumbles for a moment, but regains possession, but is forced out of the zone by Satterdahlin. The former wing whips it up ahead looking for Azadi. He can't get a touch on it, and that line will go to the bench. Satterdahlin forces a turnover at the blue line, but can't grab the loose puck. Colorado will hoist it into the Wranglers' end, and that'll be an icing with 7:28 left in the third. Face-off coming back down near Sterling. Satterdahlin will take this face-off against Johnson. Talked about it in the open. A lot of these games have been decided by 1 or 2 goals as Phillips tries to put it on goal off the face-off. Ori is able to grip it and roll back out the center. Takes a thunderous check there from Thornton as he is divorced from the puck. Phillips hauls it in at the red line. Tries to put it forward, but it is blocked by Helgeson. Flips it up to Ori. Gains the attacking line. Stops on the right wing. Looks for a trailer. Working the line. Threads it to Helgeson. He ships it wide of Gerard. Thornton knocks it back out to center where it's grabbed by Sinclair. Again, 12 of the 21 prior meetings all time between these two clubs have been decided by 1 or 2 goals. 9 of them decided by 1 goal. Wranglers are 6-1-0-2 in such instances. As Phillips looks to center for Egshnev, goes off the stick of Smutny and wide. Over in the near corner, they fight for it. From low to high, Hedquist across to Wellburn. He'll shoot. Rebound comes to Phillips as it hit traffic between the circles, but he can't get it on goal. Laid off sign on the Wranglers. The Grit will move forward. Bowden working against Evshunev is forced to just project the puck into the attacking zone. That'll end up being an icing on Colorado with 6:21 to go. Again, the Wranglers would rather this game not end in overtime, especially considering Odessa's win tonight against Corpus Christi. They're not mathematically eliminated if it does happen that way, but, well, you don't really want to think about that just yet. Wranglers trying to get it done in regulation. And it looks like we've got a timeout here. We'll keep it here in Greeley. Again, the Wranglers open the scoring on the power play in the second period, take a 1-0 lead. Luke Helgeson quickly tied it a minute and 6 seconds later to make it a 1-1 game. Wranglers then got the lead back with Trevor O'Donoghue's first goal in the North American Hockey League. And in the third period, in the first minute and 15 seconds, Colorado gets goals from Rue and West. Take a 3-2 lead, and then the Wranglers most recently have tied the game off of Jake Boulanger's 5th goal of the season. And for Jake, that ends up being his 4th goal as a Wrangler. And that has put us in this situation where we're all tied up with 6:21 to go. Face-off on the near circle. To the right of Sterling. Larson will take it up against George Poirier. The Swede has 1 goal and 1 assist in his last 2 coming into tonight. Wins it to LaFrance. The swerve down the left wing and shoot. It's blocked by Smutny. The rebound goes to the far wall. Poirier snatches it and gets boxed away by LaFrance. He'll go after it and look to center on the far corner. Hits a stick and goes to the near wall. Piping in, exchanges with LaFrance there. Puck is swiped away by West. LaFrance will try and get it back with Oleslav. At the left point, Piping keeps the play alive. LaFrance tries to swipe it down deeper, but the Grit get a body in front. They'll quickly turn up ice as it's Rue. On the left wing, defended by Boulanger, and the puck will be pitched back out to center ice. Pavlovich on the right wing. Puts it on goal to Girard softly. He will cover with 5:36 left in period 3. Think about the standings right now. Odessa now at 50. They own the tiebreaker against Colorado, so they're in 6th. Grit in 7th with 50 as well. Wranglers at 42. They have a chance to close that gap. Here tonight. Long shot from the left point, snatched by the glove of Girard. Get another stoppage here, but again, if the Wranglers win here in regulation, get up to 44 points. The gap with them be 6 between them and Colorado and Odessa. Will certainly be huge considering the games that are left on the schedule. Face off on the far circle. It'll be Wood to take it against Grolnick. Face off, won by the Grit. That's a little too clean as it splits the D. Pavlovich from the neutral zone. Blasts it right back in. Hedquist sweeps it over to Wood. Pass a bit behind, and Colorado keeps it in the zone. It's Grolnick down to the goal line. Going around the net. Moving it to the right point for Pavlovich. Threads it across to Gurman. He'll hold, and it shoots, and it's blocked by Azadi. Sends the Wranglers into motion. Wood grinding down the right wing. Shoots, kick, save made by Sterling. Now Colorado has a chance on the rush. Noble snaps it down below the goal line where it's handled by Lupo. He'll drill it to the neutral zone in search of Azadi. Puck it to his skates. Swept away by Ori and company. Johnson enters on the right side. Soft tap to Ori. Chipped at the goal line. Returned to the middle. And Rakowski tipped it wide. Now LaFrance moves cross ice for Rasega. On an extended shift, he keeps his head up, locates Larson, and heads to the bench. Now Lupo over the red line. Propels the puck into the attacking zone. Grit fire it in on Girard. 4:10 left in the third. Colorado centers. Ori tried to punch the puck in, and the Wranglers swipe it away to the far corner. France has his stick held. Rakowski on the left wing has it. He'll shoot. Wide to Girard. Puck stays in the zone to Smutny at the right point. Has a man down low. It's Rakowski. Looks to center. Cross ice. It goes to Johnson. He'll go off a stick. And over back to the right point for Smutny. Rakowski tries to reel in a pass. Goes into his skates and Larson peels it away. Has Lupo on the right wing. He'll gain the red line and shovel it into the attacking zone. 3:30 left in regulation. Man, quick swipe to Roux. On the right wing he goes. Stops at the half wall, centers for Poirier. His slap shot goes wide of the net. I think Girard got a piece. Piping in now, deep in his own end. Evades the forecheck of Roux. Looks upwards, drifting to the left wing. Hacks it off the stick of Thornton and in. Piping in, keeps the puck in the zone on the left wing. And it ends up being a hand pass as he tried to bat it from high to low. Calls for a whistle with 2:57 on the clock. And the puck will come out to the neutral zone for a face-off here. So Saturdawn will take it against West. Off the face-off, Colorado tries to chip it forward to Noble. Instead it comes to Saturdahl. Waffles it off the end wall, angled to Sterling, keeps play alive. As merging from the near corner is Noble. Has a man on the left wing at Gurman. He'll flutter it to Girard out of his reach. Hedquist will jolt it back through center ice, and that'll go for an icing with 2:29 to go. Kind of feels like Colorado taking some chances here and there, but just wanting to get to overtime. And I'm getting the sense that the Wranglers, well, you don't necessarily want this game to go to overtime. You still want to win it, by all means necessary. You don't want to lose it in regulation, so you don't want to take too many liberties here, too many chances. Face off to the right of Girard. Very different approach than what most teams are used to, as Phillips knocks it off the far wall, goes careening into the attacking zone. Shoulders away Helgeson in the far corner as his teammates get a line change behind him. And Phillips gets checked hard on that sequence, slowly gets back up. Rakowski has it in the neutral zone, goes cross ice to Ori. Stops in the half wall, locates a man down low, it's Rakowski, he'll center looking for Ori. Wranglers break it up. 2-on-2 the other way, Rasega with Boulanger. Eshenev joins the pile. As Boulanger wrap around, toe save from Sterling, and they try and jam it in, but it stays out. The net was wide open, gaping hole on the near side post, and in a matter of just an instant, a split second, Sterling closed that gap and reduced it to nothing. He was able to get a toe on it on the wraparound from Boulanger, who's had a heck of a night. Frustrated, he heads to the bench. And the Wranglers will send out the Larson line. Face off on the far circle, 1:51 left in the third. Wranglers win it. Wellburn takes a shot away from the glove of Sterling. Puck stays in play. On the far wall, grinding up ahead is Mann. He'll plunge his way down the left wing, get behind the net, defended by Wellburn. At the right point, Smutny has it. Will go across to Junker. He'll take a shot. Girard steers it away. The rebound is put through the crease. And whistle blows with 1:25 left as the net behind Girard had come off. Anything about why Colorado's in the playoff picture? This is why. Grit are able to pick up points in the majority of their games. You think about it, Colorado has trailed first and now 30 out of 52 games this season. But in the prior 29 where they had trailed, they had points in 16 out of those 29. That's 55% of the games where they trailed first. Colorado has managed to pick up a point. And they're on their way to doing so, just 85 seconds away from doing it for the 17th time this season. And it's those points that they've collected in overtime and shootouts. That's why Colorado is knocking on the door of the playoff picture. Have a timeout called here at ice level. Get into crunch time here. And it almost feels like we're on a collision course to overtime. Unless something happens in the next 85 seconds. Shot count is 39-36 in favor of Colorado. Girard has stopped 36 of those in stupendous fashion. This is it. The final moments of regulation. Face off to the left of Girard. Larson will take it. Going up against Grolnick. Larson wins it back to Pipinen. Wranglers have possession here as Pipinen rolls it up ahead to Oleslav. He'll gain the red line, have LaFrance on the right wing. Quickly back to Oleslav. On his forehand, looks to center. It jumbles to Larson. Work it up to the point. Boulanger to Pipinen. He'll delay. Pipinen shoots into traffic. The rebound goes to the far wall, and Grolnick controls and elevates it to the neutral zone. 1 minute left in the third. Pipinen slides it up to the blue line. Bottle the Wranglers up there. LaFrance will pound it into Larson. Spinning on the half wall, gets it to Oleslav. At the goal line, shoots, and it's steered away from Sterling. Now down low, Oleslav continuing to put in work with 40 seconds to go. The Grit try and free it from the zone, and they do. Noble cross ice to Grolnick. Back to the middle for Riles. Goes off his stick to the wall. Grit play it back, knowing that going to overtime is on their side. They find Junker, who gains the red line and rips it on to Girard. 23 seconds left as Boulanger stops behind the net. Feeds it to Pipinen. Now back to Boulanger. And we get a whistle with 17.9 on the clock. We got a penalty against the Wranglers. Too many men on the ice. Penalty on the Wranglers for too many men on the ice. And we'll see who serves it. At least that was the signal I saw from Ottenberg. And it's going to be a penalty on the Wranglers, and they just got to find out who's going to serve it. And I think they're trying to squeeze as much time out of this as they can. But Will Welburn's going to serve this, and the Wranglers head to the penalty kill. Think about how the Wranglers won in overtime on Sunday. Power play goal in overtime. Well, 17.9 seconds left here in the third. Wranglers go to the penalty kill, and now the script has been flipped. Now for the Wranglers, you just want to let this thing go to overtime. Smutny a shot. Girard fends it off. Puck goes to the end wall. Wranglers just trying to wait it out. Boulanger fires out to the neutral zone. And that should be the end of regulation as time will wane out. And to overtime we go. Overtime awaits here in Greeley, Colorado. The Grit now have sole possession of the 6th seed in the South Division, picking up the point here. Despite Odessa's win, they're back in control with 51 on the season. Wranglers now up to 43. They're still 8 points back of the Grit. So now the Wrangler win in overtime, the gap would be closed to 7. And we'll see what we have in store. Interesting of note, Amarillo is 4-0 all-time in overtime against Colorado. 7 of the prior 21 meetings have gone past regulation, 4 to overtime, 3 to a shootout. This is the 8th. And if the 4 that were decided in overtime, the Wranglers won all 4, and the 3 that were decided in a shootout, well, that edge goes to Colorado. They are 1-2, or the Wranglers are 1-2 in such situations. But the glaring issue for Amarillo is the too many men penalty. In the end of regulation, puts Colorado on a 4-on-3 power play to start overtime, and they've already figured out who they want to send out. It's Ori, Poirier, Gurman, and Johnson. All the high rollers, the high scorers for Colorado are out there. It was Poirier that scored the overtime winner for Colorado in their last outing here in this building against New Mexico, which ended up being a 2-1 final score. For the Wranglers, Cole Satterdahlin scored on a 4-on-3 power play goal in overtime on Sunday for the Wranglers to give them the victory against the Brahmas. Still waiting to see who Amarillo will send out here to begin overtime, but we do know is they'll be without the services of Will Welburn, who is serving the bench minor for too many men. Shot count is 40-37 in favor of Colorado. And we'll see what Gerard and the Wranglers can cook up here shorthanded in overtime. Colorado wins the opening face-off of the extra frame. And the Grit, with the man advantage, have control. Herman feeds it to the right wing for Ori. He'll surge down the wall and stop in the corner, and I'll go behind the net. Ori on his forehand, gets it to the line. Gurman to the right wing, Johnson back to Gurman. Now to the left wing, back to Gurman. He shoots, and it's blocked. Hedquist got it, feeling every bit of it. He gets off for a change, gets a tap from his teammates coming on. 1:11 left on the Colorado power play. Johnson on the left wing, plays it back to Gurman, and almost a miscommunication. Stays in the zone. Gurman delays to the middle for Johnson. Back to Gurman, high slot Johnson, one-timer off the stick of Pipinen and out of play. Critical block with the active stick by Pipinen. Keeps the Wranglers in it, and we play on. 55 seconds left on the too many men penalty. Ensuing face-off goes to the half wall. On the near side, they jockey for it. Satterdahlin grinds it out of the zone, tries to take flight. Satterdahlin on the breakaway, and he can't get a shot away. Lucas Mann caught him on the back check, and the Grit move 3-on-2. It's Rue on the right wing, moving to the back end, going around the nets like a vulture. Circles to the right point for Mann. Now back to Rue in the high slot. He holds. And King's onto it at the top of the right circle. Feeds it to the line. Junker back to Rue. A one-timer wide of Gerard. It'll stay in the zone, held in by Rue. At the left point, turns forward. Shot by Junker. Wide of the net. Rebound comes to Rue at the right point. Back across to Junker. Gains the circle and shoots. It's blocked by Lupo. The rebound goes around the net, and the Wranglers have killed off the penalty. 4-on-4 now until the next whistle. Rakowski turns it over. Satterdahlin to Larson. Fresh off the bench. He goes down the middle. William Larson, what do you got? Stops. Feeds it to the middle. Olislov shoots and scores! Wranglers win it in Greeley. Good night. An unbelievable comeback in the foothills of the Rockies. Good night, Greeley. The Wranglers get the extra point, and they're 7 points out of the final playoff spot. Coming up next here from the Greeley Ice House. Wranglers post-game live. We'll wrap this one up here from Greeley. Look ahead to tomorrow afternoon's thrilling matchup between these two squads. Wranglers improved to 5-0 in overtime against the Grit in the all-time series, and they keep their playoff hopes alive. Alexander Olislov gets the game winner, and Amarillo walks out of the building with smiles on their faces. Your final score, the Wranglers win it 4-3 in overtime. We're back in 1 minute to wrap this one up in the Rockies.
Down to Hooters, have a drink, catch the game, get yourself some awesome wings. It's the place to do your thing. You gotta get down to Hooters. Here she comes, a girl next door, hanging with good friends and more. Come on, what you waiting for? You gotta get down to Hooters. So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
It means getting up early and getting on the road. It takes commitment, perseverance, and grit. You always get the job done. That's why at UniFirst, we provide the uniforms and services you need to work harder, smarter, and safer. We always deliver. Because you always deliver.
It doesn't get any more dramatic than that, folks. The Wranglers gut it out 4-3. They win it in overtime, and now the gap between them and a playoff spot is just 7 points. Let's get to how we got here. Unbelievable game between these two teams. Starts the scoreless first period. Wranglers kill off a 5-on-3 in the opening frame. Start the second period on a 5-on-3 of their own, but can't capitalize. But the third power play of the night, Wranglers strike gold. It's Mark LaFrance putting it in with 8:08 left in the second period. He puts in the rebound off a Hayden Hedquist shot to get the Wranglers rolling. Colorado ties it a minute and 6 seconds later. As Luke Helgeson goes the other way on a 2-on-1, takes a shot that's fought off by Gerard. The rebound is spit back out to the slot, and it goes off the body of Satterdahl, who was driving to force Helgeson to take that shot. He was diving down, sprawled out, ends up hitting him and goes into the back of the net to tie the game up at 1. Wranglers did get the lead back, though, with 4:59 left in the second period, as a hard shift from Kirill Evshunev and Trevor O'Donohue, making his North American Hockey League debut tonight, ends up paying off as they get the goal, as O'Donohue has got his first in the NAHL to make it a 2-1 Wrangler lead through 40. But the Grit had other plans to start the third period, as with one is in the first minute and 15 seconds of the third period, the Grit turned the tide from a 2-1 deficit to a 3-2 lead, as Sheldon Rue opens the scoring 1 minute into the third to make it a tie game at 2. And then 15 seconds later, Landon West scores on a centering feed to make it a 3-2 Colorado lead. But the Wranglers did not back down, as Jake Boulanger, with 11:08 left in the third period, scores his 5th goal of the season from all the way out at the blue line to make it a 3-3 tie. And to overtime we went, but not without a little bit of drama. As towards the end of regulation, the Wranglers got called for a too-many-men bench minor that led Colorado having a power play for the remainder of regulation and a power play to start overtime. And they had about a minute and 43 seconds to work with in OT on the man advantage, and the Wranglers penalty kill shut that down. Penalty kill goes perfect tonight, as the Wranglers have continued to stay hot on the penalty kill, as Amarillo in terms of special teams ends up going 1 for 3 in the power play and 4 for 4 on the penalty kill. As once they kill that off, the Wranglers move up ice. William Larson gets us started, and he extends his point streak to 3 straight games, baby. He's got 1 goal and 2 assists because he centers the game-winning feed to Alexander Oleslov. He buries it for the game-winning goal, and the Wranglers gut it out in Greeley by the final score of 4-3. So now in terms of the playoff picture, here's what we're looking at. Odessa gets the win tonight. They go up to 50 points. Colorado, despite losing in overtime this evening, does have sole possession of the 6th seed, as they are now up to 51 points. And look out, here come the Amarillo Wranglers. They're up to 44 points on the season. They are 7 points back of Colorado for the final playoff spot. And now the Wranglers, with this victory, own the tiebreaker against Colorado. So all they have to do is tie the Grit. And depending on what happens with Odessa, Wranglers could get in. But the win here tonight certainly keeps the Wranglers alive. You would have liked for it to be in regulation, but hey, win's a win all the same. Wranglers inch 1 point closer to the Grit. And now turns our attention to tomorrow afternoon's game here in Greeley, Colorado. I guess for you back in the Panhandle, it's not really an afternoon game. 4:05 time start here in the Mountain Time Zone. That's a 5:05 puck drop for all of our folks back in the Central Time Zone. We will have a 4:50 pregame show for you, Central Time, on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. I'll preview that matchup, and boy, is it going to be a big one. The stakes are higher than ever, especially considering the outcome of this game. With the Wranglers win tomorrow, they can be as close as 5 points back of Colorado. And depending on what Odessa does against Corpus Christi, could be that close to the final spot in the South. Looking forward to it tomorrow night as the Wranglers meet the Grit for the 11th time this season. We'll have it all for you here on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Unbelievable stuff from the Wranglers here tonight. They showed a lot of passion, showed a lot of heart, and in the face of resiliency, they laughed. And, I should say in the face of adversity, they laughed at it. They were resilient, held firm, and they end up getting the 4-3 victory in overtime. Make sure you catch your breath. Make sure you catch Wranglers post-game coverage on our website, AmarilloWranglers.com. And that'll do it for me here at Greeley Ice House. Once again, your final score, Amarillo 4, Colorado 3. Your final shot count ends up being Colorado 40, Amarillo 37. Wranglers get it when it matters. They win it 4-3 in overtime as Alexander Oleslav's 8th goal of the season is the game winner. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon here from Greeley Ice House as I'm Chiarenza saying good night and so long from the foothills of the Rockies.